John chapter 5, verse 39. Give praise, glory, and honor to the Most High Yahweh, Yahushua Mashiach, our Master. I ain't just saying that to be nasty or nothing, man. That's like to say like it's a certain cutoff age, and then you can't go deal with nobody. I'm just speaking personally for me. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got it in me. Had an opportunity, lost that opportunity. I'm straight, man. I'm not gonna do that. Search the scriptures, for in them you think you have eternal life, and they are they which testify of me. And you will not come to me that you might have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you that you have not the love of Elohim in you. So let's go to Ephesians chapter 5, and verse 22. Ephesians 5 and 22. Ooh, boy. So when we look at Ephesians 5 and 22, it says, wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto the master. For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Mashiach is the head of the synagogue, and he is the Savior of the body. Therefore, as the body is subject unto Mashiach, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything. Now, I just mentioned this the other day because I was talking to somebody about this the other day. I tell each and every last one of you women, boy, when you sit back and you decide that you want to be with somebody, boy, you better make sure that this man can lead you properly. You know what I'm saying? All that extra stuff is good. You know what I'm saying? He look good. He nice to you. That stuff is important. That's, you know what I'm saying? I'm not minimizing the importance of that. He treats you well. He love you, this, that, there, and the third. But if that nigga is like Nabal, folly is with him, and folly is his name, boy, you're in trouble. You know what I'm saying? I just mentioned Nabal because that's what Glover keeps saying. That's what Ed is. That Ed is a real life Nabal. You know what I'm saying? But y'all know that the book say Nabal, boy, his own wife came up and said Nabal is a son of Belial. Nabal is his name, and folly is with him. You can remember that time I sat you down, you and Rondisha Maria in Jason's house and talked about that. You remember that? You don't remember that? I mean, it was about 4 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Just like they said, I ain't just saying this because of this situation right now. I'm saying this is not the first time I ever said it. You know what I'm saying? Boy, you better make, at the end of the day, when you sit back and look and you pick a mate, you single, you know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about a woman. You'll sit back and look at, can this man direct this house? Like Joshua, like Yahushua, son of Nun, say, as for me and my house, we gonna serve Yahuwah. Ain't that what he said? Well, you gotta make sure that man gonna be like this here, that everything in this house gonna go according to this man's word. Ain't no deviation. You know what I'm saying? Because, boy, if you ain't got you that there, boy, truth be told, you ain't hitting on nothing. You ain't hitting on nothing, because that's most important. As a woman, because this man say you got to submit yourself as if this man is Mashiach himself. So if you look at this man, and this man is not operating or moving like Mashiach, why would you follow him? That ain't no different than dealing with a man who preaching the word. Why would you follow him? Why would you listen to him? You know what I'm saying? That's it, because we all know. That's the same way is why would a man want to marry a woman who ain't going to be like Yasharal and submit herself unto him and serve him as if he was Mashiach? You know what I'm talking about? Why would you want a woman who wouldn't do that? That don't make any sense. Why you going to want you a Jezebel like Ahab had? Where she want to run the show. Where she doing stuff like this here, like making him look weak and cowardly. Well, I ain't going to say weak and cowardly because he wore that. But you know what I'm talking about? But as forth as he upset about something, a woman who do wickedness and you going to go along with it. You know what I'm saying? Because she did something wicked. He knew it was wicked. He went right along with it. You know what I'm saying? Ain't had no problem with it. Let's go ahead and say this man, and boy, I know what you did. I'm going to take this vineyard anyway. You know what I'm saying? Why would you want a woman like that? Woman going to tear you down. She's going to bring you down. Why would you want that? What ended up happening with Ahab? He got brought down because he had a wicked woman, you know what I'm talking about, who had no desire to serve nothing but her own desires. It brought him down. I done told y'all this before, and I'm going to tell you this again. Well, if a nigga ain't got no care for your soul, boy, they don't love you. You know what I'm saying? Because, boy, Mashiach showed us that. He loved us enough to lay his life down for you. If they ain't got no care for your soul, they don't love you. Y'all know what Proverbs chapter 1 say. He say consent. He say if sinners entice thee, consent thou not. Anybody enticing you to commit sin don't care nothing about you. I wouldn't care who it was. Mama, daddy, husband, wife, sister, brother, kids, whoever. They don't love you. At all. You know what I'm saying? Boy, Hamashiach say, I love you enough, boy. I'm going to keep these laws and I'm going to die. That man love people enough to say, hey, I ain't going to kill you, but don't you go sin now, because I don't want, he say, lest a worse thing come upon you, because I don't want that to happen to you, because I care about you. This is not the first time I ever told none of y'all this here, man. You can sit back and look at that, man. I wouldn't care what the situation was. The book tell you that. If sinners entice thee, consent thou not. Nigga enticing you to commit sin, nigga enticing you to go away from your God, that man told you about that there. Cut them people short. It's a lot of people out here doing it. Some of y'all got family members be pulling at you right now, trying to come on over here like this here. Some of y'all had somebody call you last night talking about come to a New Year's Eve party. Somebody called you talking about come to the Christmas dinner. You know what I'm saying? Somebody done entice you to do something. Them people can't, especially if they know what you're doing. See, I done told y'all this before. You know the niggas don't try me with nothing. I done told you my homeboys don't call me. They don't say come round, because they already know I ain't coming. They already know I ain't coming. Look at verse 25. Say, husbands, love your wives, even as Mashiach also loved the body and gave himself for it. Now, when it comes to that aspect, you know what I'm saying? I let T know that. That just wasn't no random talk. Oh, I'll die for that woman. You know what I'm saying? Before her, it was only one person that I would sit back and say, boy, I was going to die for. And she's sitting over here to my left. You know what I'm saying? I hadn't seen myself like, boy, if I was outside and Lil Muffin playing in the street and a car finna hit her, I'm going to jump in front of that car before she get hit. You know what I'm saying? I already know looking at her, boy, I'm going to take a bullet for this woman. You know what I'm saying? If it came down to me and T, it's going to be me. You know what I'm talking about? That's how all y'all supposed to look at your woman. If you not willing to die, I done told y'all this before. If you not willing to die for that woman, you don't love that woman in that capacity. That's not your wife. That's not the woman for you. You know what I'm saying? If you got to pause, if you got to think about it, that you would shed your blood and die, because a Mashiach ain't had to think about nothing. He said, you gonna die? He said, send me. He said, who gonna go for us? He said, send me. I'll do it. Say it's in my heart. Thy law is within my heart to do thy will, O my Elohim. I'm ready to die. He was just like the name of Biggie first album. Ready to die. How many of y'all feel like that right now? You ready to die for your woman? Most niggas ain't gonna take no bullet for that woman. They gonna duck and hide because they cowards. They gonna tuck their tail. There's a lot of niggas out here when they get real, they gonna tuck their tail. They not finna lay their life down for that woman. They gonna seek to save themselves. That's why he say when you faint in the day of adversity, your strength is small. I mean, you ain't got no faith, you fall out. You know what I'm talking about? He say that he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word, that he may present it to himself a glorious synagogue, not having spot or wrinkle or any such thing, that it should be Kadesh and without blemish. Now I'm going to say when it came to her, I try to do that regularly. You know what I'm saying? To show her that I love her. Ain't not just because I got the ability to manifest the word, but to put that stuff in the head because I love this person. But we're going to talk about some of the things that wasn't done. So all men to love their wives as their own bodies, he that love his wife love himself. For no man never yet ate his own flesh, but nourished and cherished it, even as the master of the body. And that's at times that latter part that I ain't cherished her enough. You know what I'm saying? I ain't nourished her enough. Now we're going to go look at a Mashiach nourishing his wife, even though she didn't appreciate it. And cherishing his wife, even though she didn't appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm not sitting back saying I ain't appreciate T, but I'm sitting there telling her, I ain't cherish her enough. You know what I'm saying? At all intents and purposes at times as if I hated my own body. That's why it bothers me so badly at this present time, because I know I don't hate myself and I know I don't hate her. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't manifest that to her on a consistent enough basis to where she felt comfortable enough that this was so. You know what I'm saying? That's on me. That's my fault. It ain't her fault. Come over here to John chapter 6, if I'm not mistaken. And you'll sit back when he talking about how he going to nourish your wife. And you sit back and see if these people appreciated that. Because the only reason why he would come and nourish his wife, because his wife had done separated. Matter of fact, before we even read John chapter 6, Isaiah chapter 59 and verse 1. I think I mentioned this to y'all the other day, but This why me and her situation like this. And sit back and look at this why our situation like this with y'all as a people. He said, behold, Yahuwah's hand is not short that it cannot save, neither is his ear heavy that it cannot hear. You know what I'm saying? He said, but your iniquities have separated between you and your Elohim, and your sins have hid his face from you that he will not hear. See, that's the situation that me and her in right now. You know what I'm saying? The hurt that I done did to her, that's why I can't really hear what you're saying. The hurt that I did to her, that's why we separated right now. So when we turn around and we look at Yasharal, we were hurting the Most High.
Oh, yeah.
Matter of fact, before we even look at John chapter 6, get your Micah chapter 6 and about verse 1.
What?
Micah 6 and 1. I think it was a time she said something to me along these words, or what we can read. He said, hear ye now what Yahuwah saith, arise and contend thou before the mountains, let the hills hear thy voice. Hear ye, O mountains, Yahuwah's controversy, and ye strong foundations of Iraq, for Yahuwah have a controversy with this people, and he will plead with Yasharal. It's been some time, just like T had done mentioned, she done plead and cried out for me. You know what I'm saying? Let's sit back and look and see what he say next. He said, O my people, what have I done to thee? And wherein have I wearied thee? Testify against me. That's all she would come in. What have I done? What have I done to weary you, to make you come at me like this? Please tell me. You know what I'm saying? That's why I sit back and say, I can't be mad at her. Now we turn around and we look at us as a people and put our people in that situation and put our people in that circumstance. Right? And when we put our people in that circumstance, that's what he's asking us. He's saying, plead against me. If I've done anything to you, tell me what it is. Because you're grieving me with your butt you give me to kiss. You know what I'm saying? Or how you doing it. Listen what he said. For I brought thee up out of the land of Mizraim and redeemed thee out of the house of servants, and I sent before thee Moses, Aaron, and Miriam. O my people, remember now that Balak, king of Moab, consulted, and what Balaam, the son of Beor, answered him from Shittim unto Gilgal, that ye may know the righteousness of Yahuwah. Is anybody on this phone know what story this is? Any of y'all know what story this is, to know that you might know the righteousness of Yahuwah? Anybody? Anybody? Don't nobody know? Somebody help me out. Don't leave me hanging. You know what story this is? With Balak, king of Moab. He consulted with Balaam, the son of Beor. He says, oh my people, remember. He said, remember. So that means we got to go back and look at this, because he's telling you to remember. He said, remember now what Balak, king of Moab, consulted, and what Balaam, the son of Beor, answered him from Shittim unto Gilgal, that ye may know the righteousness of Yahuwah. I'm talking about, at this point, because people so quiet, the women can answer and all. Because I need to make sure, somebody need to tell me something. Y'all don't know what story this is? Anybody else? Y'all should know who Balaam is. We just talked about Balaam not too long ago. Don't nobody know who Balaam is. That's the man who hit the donkey. What was Balaam going to do?
No.
Balaam, let's go look at it in Numbers. There you go. He's go to curse the people. Numbers 21. It might be 22 that I want. Numbers 22 and 1. We'll work our way around. Numbers 22 and 1. And it says, and the children of Yasharal sat forward and pitched in the plains of Moab on this side of Jordan by Jericho, and Balak the son of Zippor saw all that Yasharal had done to the Amorites. Hello? Hello? All right. So, do y'all know what happened to the Amorites? Y'all know what happened to the Amorites? Do y'all know who the Amorites are? The Amorites were a group of people who were in the land, and we destroyed their king and took over their land. We're not going to go into it in depth at this time, but the Amorites were a group of, remember he said he killed, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, 10 kings, and the Amorites were one of them. So he says, in verse 3, and Moab was so afraid of the people because they were many, and Moab was distressed because of the children of Yasharal. And Moab said unto the elders of Midian, now shall this company lick up all that are round about us as the ox lick up the grass of the field. And Balak the son of Zippor was king of the Moabites at that time. He sent messengers therefore unto Balaam the son of Peor to Pethor, which is by the river of the land of the children of his people, to call him, saying, behold, there's a people come up out from Mizraim. Behold, they cover the face of the earth, and they abide over against me. Come now, therefore I pray thee, curse me this people, for they are too mighty for me. Peradventure I shall prevail, that we may smite them, and that I might drive them out of the land. For I wot not, I wot that he whom thou blessed is blessed, and he whom thou cursed is cursed. What y'all take from when you hear that? What y'all take from what he just said? Balak has just came to Balaam and said, I want you to curse these people, because whoever you bless is blessed, and whoever you curse is cursed. What's the first place? What's the first place you hear that? Well, this is how he's looking at Balaam. Where's the first place you ever hear a statement like this? There's a place in the law. There's a place in the law that stated. Get your Genesis 12. Hold this Numbers 22.
What is it?
12 and 1. He's singing. Genesis 12 and 1. Now Yahuwah had said unto Abram, get thee out of thy country and from thy kindred and from thy father's house unto a land that I will show thee. And I will make of thee a great nation, and I will bless thee, and make thy name great. And thou shalt be a blessing. And I will bless them that bless thee, and curse him that curse thee. And in thee shall all the families of the earth be blessed. So now what are we going to sit back and look at that now? And the reason why I want y'all to follow what I'm saying, because Balak just told him, whoever you bless is blessed, whoever you curse is cursed. Now he just said this about Abram. Now what can we tie in to think about that as we consider what we're looking at while we still holding Micah chapter 6 and John chapter 6 and Numbers 22? We'll come back to Ephesians 5 too. I'm trying to work a lot in a short period of time, so bear with me. Y'all got any idea what we could be looking at? Let's look at let's sit back and think on what I want. I want you to look at Hebrews chapter 9 and about verse 14. Matter of fact, well, I'll look at Hebrews 9 and 14, and then we'll slide to the 10th chapter of that same epistle letter. So I bring 9 and about 14. See, when we turn around and look at it, right, when you bless somebody or happy or increase them, or for the Hebrew Baruch, you know what I'm saying? We're sitting back looking at it. The word said that a wife should submit herself unto her husband as unto the master. And doing so, you would be, in actuality, be submitting yourself unto a Mashiach. See, what we dealing with is, man, T had me listen to her. She wanted me to listen to her. I ain't gonna lie to you, I couldn't listen to all of it. Not because of the word that was being preached, but it was a sermon where, I think it was a situation where a woman was actually trying to cause confusion in our relationship. I knew what the woman was doing. You know what I'm saying? She had to show T something, and T had a concern about it as forth is, I don't like this. Which, okay, I ain't have a problem with you not liking it, but I'm like, you don't see what this nigga doing though. You know what I'm saying? I know I was going into talking about, you ought to know your mate. You know what I'm saying? Know who you with. That you should know me well enough to not even entertain that. And then also know the person who bringing this to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, why they doing it. So, I didn't have no intent on preaching on it, but I went on this way. Like I told her, I was focusing not just on the women, but also as the men too. See, because the name of it is your desire is to your husband. You know what I'm saying? But then some of the things that I was saying, I wasn't thinking about, boy, I'm finna shoot for teeth. I'm finna cut her throat out. But nevertheless, that's how it got took. You know what I'm saying? And to sit back and hear that, you know what I'm saying, know how to affect her. I'm sitting there looking at her. The disgust is in her face as she hears it. I can remember her telling me after hearing it, she was like, I heard, Yahusha pleading for, that's what is actually what I wanted her to hear. I really didn't want to focus on just me and her. You know what I'm saying? I was really trying to focus on something bigger than that. If you get something out of it on the natural, you know what I'm saying, with me and you, that's cool. You know what I'm talking about? But I really wanted to focus on that as long as your desire is to serve God, you'll be able to serve me easily. You know what I'm saying? Easily. It won't be no problem. Everything be smooth. You know what I'm saying? Just like I was sitting back telling you that I think if I remember, I didn't look at all of it, but if I remember, I'm like, okay, you got to know your husband. Well, that's when I think I probably used, you got to know Mashiach. And when you know Mashiach, then you know what he requires, and you know what he don't require. You know what I'm saying? You know what he don't like, you know what he likes. You know what I'm saying? Because I know we also dealt with disannulling the covenant of death, because that was up under the title. But then you sit back and you look at it is, you not realizing it, you saying these certain things, you not maybe sitting back, I ain't sitting back thinking about, oh, this fatigue. She better catch this and hear this and know this, or she gonna get cut off. But that's how she took it. And because I didn't sit down and communicate that fully with her, that's how she walked around for 6-7 months holding that. You know what I'm saying? She done sat back and mentioned, you done belittled me in public and in private. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, that nigga done that. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't trying to be nasty with it or embarrass her in front of everybody. You know what I'm saying? But it don't even matter what your intent is. But once it's done, that don't mean how it's gonna be taken. You know what I'm saying? Cause I would listen to it, I'm like, man, I don't want to hear no more. Cause I'm seeing this bothering you, and if it's bothering you, it's gonna bother me. If it didn't bother me, that means I really didn't care. You know what I'm saying? But we turn around and look at it, we seen the Mashiach go off on his disciples. He loved these people. But at the same time, though, she's a woman and not a man. You know what I'm saying? Stuff didn't come across. I'm sitting back looking at it. It's certain thing. I think I said something about it. If a woman don't want to serve her husband, so she's mentally unstable. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never think that she didn't want to, but I needed to put that out there for them women to hear it. Like, basically, unstable means you double-minded. You're not sound. You're not steadfast in what you're doing if you don't really have a strong desire to serve this man. You know what I'm saying? When I mentioned being worthless, if I would have went into it, that's being reprobate, because that's rejecting Yah's word. You know what I'm saying? You don't have a desire to serve your husband, because we sit back and look at it as a people. If we don't have a desire to serve Mashiach, what worth do we have to him? You know what I'm saying? Because we his wife. We his members in particular. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know that because we just dealt with this immersion. You've been immersed in this man's body, which means you've become a part of his wife. He one with you. You know what I'm telling you? He said, what worth you got? You don't want to know this man. You don't want to serve this man. You don't want to love this man. You don't serve no purpose. Meaning you don't serve no purpose, meaning you don't operate according to his will. Like, even what I'm talking with now, this ain't like at no means like, boy, I'm going to spit this right here, boy, and this will win T back. Ain't got nothing to do with that. It's really just to use a natural sense of situation and to show you how to parallel it with the word. You know what I'm saying? Straight up and down. Whether she come back or not, that's up to y'all and her. It ain't up to me. That's outside of my control. So I just want y'all to know that this is not the purpose of this. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you can sit back and learn something from it and don't be as dumb as I was or insensitive as I was. You know what I'm saying? Or unattentive as I was. You can lose something special, and then you got to live with it. And then you got to sit back and look at not just with your wife. You know what I'm saying? Not just with the woman you love. Mess around, you lose your salvation. Same time, because some of y'all don't be paying attention. Some of y'all don't be thinking. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all got other stuff going on. You don't let that word up in your heart, and that's why you're not going to get sealed. Because for everybody who just got immersed, who hadn't been, it's more serious for you now. Half step and play with it if you want to. You know what I'm saying? Because now you've been immersed in this man's death, and now you're going to be messing around and trotting the son of Elohim underfoot and count the blood which you was sanctified, an unset apart thing. You know what I'm saying? He say vengeance ought to come to you then. You in a whole nother ball game now. See, it was serious before you got dipped. You know what I'm talking about? It's even more serious now. Because now you've been made a part of his death. You on a whole nother ball game. You can pussyfoot around and play around if you want to. It's all on you. Verse 14. How much more shall the blood of Mashiach through the eternal Ruach, who through the eternal Ruach offered himself without spot to Elohim, purge your conscience from dead works to serve the living Elohim. And for this cause he's the mediator of the new covenant, that by means of death for the redemption of transgressions that were under the first testament, that they which were called might receive the promise of eternal inheritance. That's the blessing right there. See, I'm not going to go read it, but you know in the 26th chapter of Matthew, what did he say? He took bread and he blessed it, right? He said, take, eat, this is my body. You know what I'm saying? Then he took the wine and say, drink. That was blessed too. This is my blood. That's the blessing. See, when you walk in Mashiach, Mashiach will bless you. Because then your soul can be saved. But when you go against Mashiach, let's look at Hebrews 10 and 26. Because I already mentioned it. But when you go against Mashiach, you're going to get cursed. We talked about that last week with them thorns and briars being rejected. Nigh under cursing, which end is to be burned. He said, for if we sin willfully after we have received the knowledge of the truth, there remain no more sacrifice for sins, but a certain fearful look for of judgment and fiery indignation which shall devour the adversaries. He that despised Moses' law died without mercy under 2 or 3 witnesses. Of how much more sore punishment suppose ye he be thought worthy, who have trodden under the foot of the Son of Elohim, and counted the blood of the covenant wherewith he was sanctified an unkadesh thing, and have done despite the spirit of favor, or the ruach of favor. For we know him that hath said, vengeance belong unto me, I will recompense, saith Yahuwah. And again, Yahuwah shall judge his people. It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living Elohim. Now you know where the cursing come in at? Because that's that Numbers chapter 8. John chapter 8. If you don't believe that I am he, you shall die in your sins. Because the curse of the covenant is death. And when you sit back and you stand out there and you say, crucify him, you curse the man. Therefore, he will curse you. You know what I'm saying? That's what it boiled down to. Yes, Chantel, you got to be baptized under the right name. 9 times out of 10, if you were baptized when you were young, you were baptized in the name of Jesus. And being baptized in the name of Jesus might as well go on to get baptized in the name of Chantel. So I want y'all to sit back and look at that, because you know who got power to bless and got power to curse, right? Let's look at Yukonon chapter 5. Let's see what he tell you. You do good, you'll get blessed. You do evil, you'll be damned. Y'all just hold this, because there's some stuff, a whole bunch of stuff coming to my mind, man. We're going to still hold Ephesians 5. We're going to still hold Numbers 22. We're going to still hold John chapter 6. And we're still going to hold Micah chapter 6. 5 and 28. Make it 27. Make it 5 and 25. John 5 and 25. We're going to get back to it. Y'all just bear with me. Truly, truly, I say unto you, the hour is coming, and now is, when the dead shall hear the voice of the Son of Elohim, and they that hear shall live. For as the Father hath life in himself, so hath he given to the Son to have life in himself, and have given him authority to execute judgment, because he is the Son of Man. Don't you realize to have the power to bless and the power to curse? That's the power to execute judgment. Because in order to execute that, you got to be able to judge if this person righteous or unrighteous. Ain't a single solitary cursed person who's righteous. And ain't a single solitary blessed person who unrighteous. Like I told you, man, y'all hear this stuff out, but y'all don't be weighing this stuff. Y'all do stuff that don't even make sense. Y'all put yourselves in positions to sin. Y'all put yourselves in positions to be tempted. You know what I'm saying? You put yourselves in position to lose your soul. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know the stuff that just occurred that came out. Say, I ain't going to put myself in that position. Man done put that. That's not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? That's just not going to happen. And then especially being put into this man's death, it's really not going to happen. It's really not going to happen. But some of y'all don't think about that, because the pull of the world is a little greater. You know what I'm saying? The pull of your flesh is a little greater. And you go ahead and go after this stuff, and you're going to find yourself not where you want to be at. You know what I'm saying? CT said something to me, I think, yesterday. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking to her. She was like, I'm scared I'm going to hell. And, if I am, I just want to be able to be happy. I took that as this woman feel like I can't make her happy. So once I hear that, you still fearful if your soul gonna be saved. I just might as well just focus on getting you the word and just leave you alone. Because you feel like I ain't gonna make you happy. What's the point? What's the point of even trying? This is how I'm thinking. That may not have been what she meant, but that's what I'm thinking. You don't feel like I can make you happy. Why bother? You know what I'm saying? Why even try to attempt to show somebody that you can if they don't believe that you can? That's just wasted energy. That's an exercise in futility. You know what I'm saying? But my number one concern is your soul get saved? That was my number one concern from day one. That's my number one concern. You know what I'm saying? You sit back and look at it is how you live your life and what you actually believe is going to determine if your soul gets saved or damned. You know what I'm saying? My shot told you don't judge according to appearance, judge righteous judgment. When you make a decision, what you judging it by? You know what I'm saying? When you make a move, what you judging it by? You judging it by how it feel for you? You judging it by what you want? Or you judging it by what this man's word say? What his will is? What his set apart way is? That's what we supposed to judge every matter. I want to talk about from the biggest to the smallest. You know what I'm saying? I can sit back and look at, even though we wasn't married, I can judge that matter. I was not walking uprightly according to the good news because I didn't love her as I love myself. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't walking uprightly. It doesn't matter we weren't married yet. I wasn't doing that. So I was wrong. You know what I'm saying? So then when I sit back and look at I was wrong according to the word, then I'm going to adjust that then. You know what I'm talking about? Because the word is pointing this out and saying you wrong, sir. See, I'm going to judge it according to that. Not just on alone, because that's going to play a part. You know what I'm saying? That I affected her, that I hurt her, that I made her feel lonely and pushed her away and made her feel unloved and unappreciated and unvalued and all this type of stuff. That's going to go along with it. That's going to be secondary. I ain't going to tell you no lie. That's going to be secondary. Firstly, it's going to be like you're not walking according to the word. That's going to be first. That's going to be the first thing catch my attention. Because I'm going to look at it spiritually first. Then I'm going to look at it on a natural level. Obviously on a natural level, what I just mentioned before that, that's going to be first. You know what I'm saying? When we look at it spiritually, obviously spiritually ought to outweigh the natural. You know what I'm saying? So I look at it spiritually. Man, I can't be pleasing y'all with that. It's going to be impossible. So y'all got to start training your mind that you can't make moves based on what feel good for you. You got to base stuff on what's safe for the word. Then if you go by that there, then a lot of stuff won't happen. Then you can be able to see things clearly. So you can't see things clearly when you're not judging stuff according to the word. That's what we all got to learn how to do. Ain't nobody exempt, myself included, everybody. This ain't towards nobody. This is for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Judge stuff according to the word, your vision will get clear. If you don't judge stuff according to the word, you're going to fall. You're going to lose. You're not going to get what you're supposed to get. It's not going to happen. Verse 28, marvel not at this, for the hour is coming, and the which, all that are in the grave shall hear his voice, and shall come forth, and they that have done good unto the resurrection of life, and they that have done evil unto the resurrection of damnation. Damnation is cursing. Resurrection of life, that's the blessing. So it comes down to your faith and your obedience. Get Romans chapter, matter of fact, hold off on that. Hold off on that, because it was something I was thinking about. Let's finish this Numbers 22. You all right? Y'all will, he bring that back to mind that I got in my head on that. You know what I'm saying? Because see, matter of fact, I'm going to just go ahead and do it now. Get Ezekiel 33 and 30. We'll come back to number 22. I'm going to go ahead and get it now. See, what I mentioned y'all earlier, like, I've been telling T, like, it's not going to be that way. If you return, it's not going to be that way. It's not going to be that way. It's not going to be that way. But she's skeptical. I'm going to show you why she's skeptical. And I'm going to sit back and show you this how we've been coming at the Most High. And get your Psalm 78 to go along with this. Y'all got the stuff you holding. I'm going to mention this stuff, and I'm going to mention it again. I want you to get Ezekiel 33 and 30. I want you to get Psalm 78 and 17. And I want you to get James chapter 1 and verse 20. See, this is how we come at the Most High. See, she might be feeling just like how y'all feeling. I can't even be mad at her. 33 and 30. I can't even be mad at him. He say, also, thou son of man, the children of thy people are still talking against thee by the walls and in the doors of the houses, and speak one to another, every one to his brother, saying, come, I pray you, hear what is the word that come from Yahuwah. And they come unto thee as the people come, and they sit before thee as my people, and they hear thy words, but they will not do them, for with their mouth they show much love, but their heart go after their covetousness. That's what she looking at. She looking at, I done seen a period of time where you didn't show me this. You telling me a lot with your mouth, I don't believe you. You know what I'm saying? That's what she looking at. Now, I sit back and tell you on my end, I look at it the same aspect, and we'll get into it in a little bit. I look at it the aspect of how I come and serve y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's fully in my mind and been shown what I have done. You know what I'm saying? So now that I fully understand and can encapsulate what has been done, now I can sit back and look at, I will repent from that, which means I'm going to turn from that. And we know when we turn from something, ain't no going back, or that's not repentance. You know what I'm saying? See, I used to smoke weed, so I don't smoke weed no more. You know what I'm talking about? I used to cuss, but I don't cuss no more. I used to sell crack, I don't sell crack no more. Once I done resigned in my mind, I'm just speaking for myself. I wouldn't care what it was. You know what I'm saying? This ain't just about what the grand scheme of what we discussing this evening. Once I done made it up in my mind that I ain't doing that no more, I ain't doing that no more. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no going back to it, especially dealing with this. That is repentance. That's what all y'all need to sit back and look at. You know what I'm talking about? See, I mentioned this to y'all when we got immersed, which of course you know there was no recording of that. You know what I'm saying? Which I would have done if we'd have had space on the camera, but we didn't. But that's neither here nor there. In the 28th chapter of the book of Proverbs, and I'm going to tie this into what I'm talking about right here, whether you know it or not. He said, he that covereth his sin shall not prosper. So I ain't covering up to her that I understand this is what I did. But he said, he that confess and forsake his sins will have mercy. So I'm sitting back looking at, I done confessed what I did to you. Now I'm going to abandon that. You know what I'm saying? Now y'all got to sit back and look at that y'all got to do the same thing. Now y'all know some of y'all ain't been immersed yet. Some of y'all had, you had to confess what you did. Some of y'all didn't tell everything. You know what I'm talking about? Which don't mean you gonna go to hell for not doing it. Some of you, most everybody we know in general, ain't nobody really want to mention specific things. That's all well and good. But you confessed your works though, right? Now you gotta sit back and look at, you can't go back to that. See, even being immersed, that's why I sit back and look at this while we dealing with this situation. Like ain't no going back to, I mistreated my wife. I talked to my wife like this. I didn't communicate with her. I didn't do this. I was guarded with her. Ain't no going back to that. Or that's not repentance. Because I'm going to sit back and look at, that can spill over how I serve y'all. See, that's how you got to look at this type of stuff. It could be some of y'all, it ain't even just got to be your relationship. It could be something you got going on, period. You know what I'm saying? You done cease from doing it, then you cease from doing it. If you ain't ceased from doing it, you haven't repented. All you did was just play the game for a little bit. Let's look at this Psalm 78. I don't play this type of game. Let me see what it is. First, I said 17, didn't I? Mm-hmm. Make sure that's what I wanted. There we go. 17, good enough. He say they sin yet more against him by provoking the Most High in the wilderness. And they tempted Elohim in their heart by asking meat for their lust. Yea, they spake against Elohim, and they said, can Elohim furnish a table in the wilderness? Ain't that something? Because he showed furnished a table with a Mashiach, right in sin too. Behold, he smote the rock that the waters gushed out and streams overflowed. Can he give bread also? Can he provide flesh for his people? Well, they smote a Mashiach, and blood and water gushed right up out of it. And he gave you bread because he said, my flesh is meat indeed. He said, I'm the man that come down from Shamahim. And he provided flesh for his people. See, he did that for his wife. Even though his wife didn't do it, his wife was talking trash against him, saying this, that, there, and the third. But he gave her everything she needed. He ain't forsake her. He still loved her. That's why he said you got to love your wife, even as Hamashiach loved his and gave his life for her. You know what I'm saying? Because that's something right there to have a woman talk bad about you to your face and still lay your life down for her. Because that's all they're pointing to. He said, because they believed not in Elohim and trusted not in his salvation. I might have been a little bit too low. Drop down about verse 34 though. I was a little too high. Make it 33 though. Matter of fact, 31. He said, the wrath of Elohim came upon them and slew the fattest of them and smote down the chosen men of Yasharal. For all this they sinned still and believed not for his wondrous works. Therefore their days did he consume in vanity and their years in trouble. And when he slew them, they sought him and they returned and inquired early after Elohim. And they remembered that Elohim was their rock and the high Elohim their redeemer. Nevertheless, they did flatter him with their mouth, and they lied unto him with their tongues, for their heart was not right with him, neither were they steadfast in his covenant. See, that's what she's sitting back looking at. You just trying to flatter me with your mouth. You know what I'm saying? You lying to me with your mouth. But then you gotta sit back and look at, this is what we do, right? We serve y'all, right? Lying is a sin, right? So if I tell you I'm not gonna do this, and I already got it in my heart that I am, then I'm lying in that. Then I ought to go to hell. You know what I'm saying? On the express bus. You know what I'm talking about? Maybe a mega bus. Because if I ain't had no desire, if I had a desire to continue to treat you in this fashion, then I wouldn't even look you in your face and tell you that I wouldn't. Because then I would be knowingly be deceitful. But listen to what he turned around and do. But he, being full of compassion, forgave their iniquity and destroyed them not. And many a time turned he away his anger and did not stir up all his wrath. Now this way come in at what we done looked at in the past, that if the Most High will mark iniquity, who will stand? But he say, but there's forgiveness with him, that we might fear him or respect him. Now again, this ain't nothing to sway her thought process. This is to sit back and make y'all sit back and look at this here. No matter how much evil that we done did, the Most High forgave and gave you an opportunity to correct it. You understand what I'm telling you? You gonna sat there and lied with your mouth. You flattered him because your heart wasn't right with him. You wasn't gonna be steadfast in his covenant. He said, even in the midst of that, got your puppet, huh? Even in the midst of that, he forgave these people, didn't crash them, and gave them the opportunity to repent and change their behavior. So we need to turn around and look at that. We were not a faithful wife. We were disrespectful to our husband. We mistreated our husband. We didn't appreciate him. We didn't value him. All the things I did to teach, that's what we've been doing to Yasharal. That's what Yasharal did to Yahusha, did to y'all. That's what we did. You know what I'm saying? But in turn, he gave us space to correct that. He forgave us and was able to take us back. That's why there's no other power in the earth other than Yahuwah Elohim by way of our Master and King Yahushua HaMashiach. Because none of these so-called gods in the earth have done anything as if he has done for us. Because we don't deserve that forgiveness and we don't deserve for him to take us back, do we? The same way I can sit back and look at it is, I don't deserve T forgiveness. I don't deserve for her to take me back. That's where it came in, the grace came in with a Mashiach, or the undeserved gift of favor. Y'all don't deserve to be saved. But because I made a covenant with your fathers, I will do so. You know what I'm saying? That's mercy right there. That's why every last one of us got to sit back and look at our behavior and the pattern that we putting together and sit back and change it. Because I'm going to tell you like this here, I'll never say nobody can't change. I may not believe a person will change. That's something totally different. You know what I'm saying? Because we can't, if we say nobody can change, then everybody going to hell then. Wouldn't you say? Mm-hmm. Everybody going to hell. Everybody. You know what I'm saying? Boy, the Most High had enough love. He loved his people enough, he came to die for it. That I overlook all this here, what you done did. You know what I'm talking about? And take you back. Now we turn around and look at it as a man, a natural man. If his woman did all that, oh, she's done. Don't you never come back around here. I don't want nothing to do with you. You know what I'm saying? I turn around, I put it in my situation. Sitting back looking at T, looking at, well, I'm done. I ain't never coming back around here. On a natural sense, that's applicable. You know what I'm talking about? But thank y'all that he don't think like man think. That his thoughts are not our thoughts and his ways are higher than our ways. You know what I'm saying? Because there's not a single solitary one of us that deserve no forgiveness and no acceptance back to y'all, period. And I ain't talking about nothing you done did since you knew the word. Y'all do know that, right? You know what I'm saying? Boy, all the stuff, all the lives I destroyed selling dope, that man should have let me get killed dead in them streets, man. Like I told you, boy, I walk around with some stuff knowing, boy, I know, boy, I'm probably the reason why possibly a child could have got molested. I may not know nothing about it, you know what I'm talking about? But I could have sold dope to somebody who went and did something to a child. You know what I'm talking about? I might have sold dope to somebody who went and robbed somebody and killed somebody. or broke in somebody's house and took somebody's last and they got evicted. Well, I got to walk around knowing I got a woman fired and possibly could have got her evicted because I was stealing up out the register at McDonald's, cost that lady her job. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what these people done went and did after niggas sold them some dope. Could have been the reason why a family got broke up, why somebody cheated on their wife, cheated on their husband. Boy, you done worked havoc and chaos in people's life that you may not know nothing about, but nevertheless, you responsible for it. You know what I'm talking about? You responsible for that because you was out here doing it. You were responsible for evil. You got to live with that. You know what I'm saying? See, some of y'all don't know nothing about that because y'all listen to them rap niggas talk about this stuff, or you knew some old cornball, extra lame niggas from your neighborhood who was selling dope. But I'm talking about real hustlers. Well, real hustlers lay down to sleep at night and think about the chaos and havoc that they causing in their communities, man. Even if they talking about, we ain't even talking about we were running around robbing and shooting at niggas, but nigga lay down, man, nigga can't sleep at night. Because nigga conscience is eating at them. You know what I'm saying? What are you doing? Do you know what you doing? You know what I'm saying? It's times I can't sleep at night because my conscience is eating me by what I did to this woman. How I treated this woman, how I made this woman feel, knowing that I love this woman. But I ain't show her that. So my conscience is eating me. I can't sleep. You know what I'm saying? And you been in a position like that? You don't ever felt like that? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Conscience eating at you because what you doing? But that stuff ain't cool, man. See, some of y'all, that stuff will pass once the situation passed. Boy, I've been walking around what I did in these streets, man. Shoot, last time I sold some dope was what, 2004? So, I've been walking around with this for 15 years. That stuff ain't went away. You think because I don't sell dope no more, it's gone? No, it's not gone. Really knowing what I done did to teach, man, I've been walking around this for like 3 weeks now. Every day. Eating at me every single day. Like this is eating at me, man. It's your fault she gone. She ain't gone for no other reason because of you. You did that. You got to live with that, sir. You know what I'm saying? That don't go nowhere. Totally, that's a pain that don't never go away. You know what I'm saying? What a nigga did in the community, that's a pain that don't never go away. Because I ain't just sell to black people. I sold to whoever. Whites, Latinos, Asians, whoever. You got some money, you served. Man, I sat and watched a man say he was willing to pawn his child for some dope. Here, hold my son. Just give me some rocks. Y'all don't know nothing about watching somebody sell everything in the house, man, depriving their kid of everything for some dope. Pregnant people coming to you for some dope. That's one thing I never did. I never sold no dope to no pregnant woman, not knowingly. You know what I'm saying? If I know you pregnant, I ain't serving you. I refuse to do that. I got homeboys didn't care nothing about it. What she want? She want a 60? Pop off. I couldn't do that. I drew the line right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to do that. Just certain things I wasn't going to do. I wasn't going to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to be responsible. You had a miscarriage. Or your baby come out retarded. And I'm the reason because you were coming buying 80s from me every day. I'm serving you all day, every day. I'm the reason why your baby is retarded and addicted to crack. And guess what? I could have been serving people who were pregnant and didn't even know I was serving them because somebody else coming to get the dope and they taking the dope back to the woman who's pregnant and she's smoking it. So whether I know it or not, I probably done that. And I got to live with that. You know what I'm saying? I got to live with the regret of, I used to sit in prison every single day on my bunk, replaying how that night went down or how I ain't have to catch that case. You know what I'm saying? While I'm sitting there thinking about this is, I'm gone from my sister. You know what I'm saying? 4.5 years. It's my fault. My sister got to come in the courtroom and look at me shackled up like a common slave or animal and stand before this white man and say, don't lock my brother up because that's my brother. I ain't supposed to put her in no type of situation like that. That is still with me to this day. You know what I'm saying? That's not going to go nowhere. I don't even cry in front of people. You know what I'm talking about? I ain't even try to I don't even know if nobody in that courtroom seen that. I tried to hide my face. There's no way in the world I couldn't cry like this. I got my sister coming begging this white man to have mercy on her brother. Because her brother's stupid. She had no business walking in the courtroom talking about don't lock him up because that's my brother. Asking this white man to have mercy on me. I ain't supposed to put her in no position to do nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Sitting back here and these people say, man, he facing 3 years minimum mandatory to a natural life sentence. People ain't supposed to experience nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? I got to sit back and look at everything I did, how this affected other people. That stuff's still with me. You know what I'm saying? That affected my cousin. My cousin sitting in here like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? My cousin held me down while I was in prison. That didn't get anything from me. You know what I'm talking about? Held me down when I was in prison. To the point where her daddy come up there talking crazy at my sentencing. She want to jump over the pew and slap him in his mouth and tell him to shut up because you like, you finna get this nigga 1,000 years. She shouldn't have had to go through that. You know what I'm saying? Even though Sean ain't none of my child, he ain't supposed to went through. He had me when I was 8 months. I don't see him again until I'm 5. You know what I'm saying? He ain't supposed to went through that. And I got to live with that. You know what I'm saying? See, some of y'all that sit back, I might talk to y'all about certain stuff when me being in prison, but I ain't talk to you about the real stuff when niggas sit back and look at. Boy, I hurt my sister with this one here, man. When I left, she was 13. When I come back, she finna be 18. You know what I'm saying? That's them real important years right there, man. And I'm gone. That's not to mention the 6 months I did in 02 and were gone. You know what I'm saying? Or the little time, you know, the 70 days here, 30 days here. I remember when I got out for them 6 months, you was at the lady house over there at University Park. You was swimming in the pool. She ain't never hugged me that hard before in her life. She was 11 years old. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, boy, that's why I was disillusioned and ain't sell no dope then, because I'm like, man, I can't be doing this. This is not just affecting me, this is affecting somebody else. Somebody that I love. But guess what? I still did it, and it still was adversely affecting her. Because I'm looking at, boy, I got to be able to take care of myself. My mama ain't got no money. This, that, there, and the third. She can't do this, she can't do that. So I'm like, you know, I call myself making it better, but I'm making it worse. Even the same situation with T. On some stuff, I'm calling myself making it better. Well, I ain't doing this no more. I ain't doing that no more. But then I'm still doing this and doing this, so I ain't making it better. I'm making it worse. Now I'm injuring somebody I love. Now I got to walk around with that for the rest of my life. See, some of y'all never not been in a position where you'd have done something like that, where you feel that way. You feel like, yeah.
All the time, too.
I'm talking about time. I'm talking about it's still with you, though.
Yeah.
Then you done it before. Any of y'all on this phone ever done? Any of y'all walk around with some stuff like that?
That's what time with you means.
Okay, tell me something then. My apologies.
Did I say time with you? Someone said time with you. I said time with you, I mean, it happened to me, right? That's some time with you?
I don't know, sounds like that might have slid on out of there. But I'm for real though, man. I had to walk around like that, man. That type of stuff, you know what I'm saying? You don't really talk about. You know what I'm saying? That stuff, like, as a man, you keep that stuff to yourself. You chew on that stuff yourself, there be regrets. You know what I'm saying? That be stuff don't nobody know you thinking about it or dealing with that. You just dealing with that when you be by yourself. You go to thinking on stuff like, boy, I should have did that there. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're looking at now. Come over here to James 1:21. See, the only reason why you're going to feel like that is because you actually care about the person. If you don't actually care about the person, it ain't going to cross your mind. Because you don't care. You know what I'm saying? When you don't care about nobody, you don't care about how your actions affect them, and it's not going to bother you. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't watch too many dudes and women cheat on their mates and do all type of stuff, and that stuff don't bother them. You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't care. They didn't love these people. He said, wherefore, lay apart all filthiness and superfluity of naughtiness, and receive with meekness the engrafted word, which is able to save your souls. But be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. For if any be a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in the glass. For he behold himself, and go his way, and straightway forget what manner of man he wore. See, you know, you be a hearer of word, you usually be just talking. You know what I'm saying? You're going to talk a good one. You know what I'm saying? He say with their mouth, they show much love, but their heart go after their covenant. Just like we was looking at in Psalm 78, your heart going to go after your desire. You're gonna still going to do what you want to do. And you're going to forget that you was a sinner. You're going to forget that you worthy of death. And you're going to go ahead and get crashed. You know what I'm saying? I got to sit back and look at, that's where T-Mind is at. You know what I'm saying? You just showing much love, but after a while your heart going, she looking at it, it's in your heart to treat me like this. This just who you are. You know what I'm saying? That's not who I am. You know what I'm saying? Nigga just was an idiot. You know what I'm saying? Ain't none of us idiots. Because you can change, you can go from being a fool to being wise. You know what I'm saying? It ain't good to go from being wise and being a fool. Now that's bad for business. But I got to sit back and look at it from her perspective and her vantage point, and not from mine. I can see where she can sit back and look at it. This is just who he is. No matter who he with. It's been times she done told me if I was somebody else, I feel like you would do this or do that. It ain't got nothing to do because it was you. You know what I'm saying? It could have been somebody else. It probably went the same way. Because not realizing what's being done. Especially dealing with this here, man, I got maybe a little harder than what I was before dealing with the word. Then taking account that before I got with T, I hadn't really been with nobody in 13 years. And ain't really been with nobody, but probably like once or twice. Like really in a, I'm with you, you with me, we ain't with nobody else. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, they made a lot of mistakes. It's been a long time. Been alone for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Of course, 4.5 years of that was in prison. You know what I'm saying? Then you dealing with the word. Then you used to being alone. You're not always cognizant. Oh man, you can't say that to this woman. Can't say that to this woman. Or like mama used to tell me you were little. She's not a boy. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting back looking at. Sometimes I might have dealt with her as if she was a man, and forgetting this is a woman. This is the weaker vessel. I can't do that with her. You know what I'm saying? You can say certain stuff with a man that a woman would take as that was harsh and hard, that he might hear that and be like, boom, them niggas just talking. Cause I can tell you, boy, it's been some arguments, boy, or discussions I done had with some of my friends where you thought we were gonna fight. If you didn't know us, you know what I'm saying? Like, boy, them niggas talking to each other real greasy, real hard. Ain't nothing behind it at all. They ain't mean nothing by it. Soon as the discussion over with, where the blunts at? Hey, take me up here to the such and such, man, I'll get something to eat. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't nothing to it. But you can do that with a man. Not every man, because some men can't handle conversation like that. But I think sometimes I forgot that's a woman. You can't talk to that woman like that. You can't do that. But hey, you live and you learn. So we look at verse 25. He say, but whoso look into the perfect Torah of freedom and continue therein, he being not a forgetful hearer, but a doer of the work, this man shall be blessed in his deed. So that's what we sit back and look at. And if you hear the word and the word is showing you what you're doing wrong, and then you do it, and you don't forget it, you just don't hear it, you just don't talk, then your behavior is going to be modified. Well, not modified, but correct. It's going to be changed. It's going to be terminated. You're no longer walking that course of action. Come on back to Numbers 22. We still holding Micah 6, Ephesians 5, John 6. We'll get to sit back and look at him. Even when we sit back looking at how he said, will he give them flesh? And he gave them water out the rock. This was him nourishing his wife. Because nourishing is to give something to feed. You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't nothing else, I could be able to give tea. I was going to give the word. If I wasn't going to nourish nothing else, I was going to nourish her spirit. Where we at in number 22? We in verse 7. Let's look at verse 7. And the elders of Moab and the elders of Midian departed with the rewards of divination in their hand. And they came unto Balaam and spake unto him the words of Balak. And he said unto them, lodge here this night, and I will bring you word again, as Yahuwah shall speak unto me. And the princes of Moab abode with Balaam. Elohim came unto Balaam and said, what men are these? And Balaam said unto Elohim, Balak the son of Zippor, king of Moab, hath sent unto me, saying, behold, there is a people come out of Mizraim, which cover the face of Arats. Come now, curse me them, peradventure I shall be able to overcome them and drive them out. Elohim said unto Balaam, thou shalt not go with them. Thou shalt not curse this people. Curse the people, for they are blessed. So this is why he's telling you to remember this. Because you know who Yahuwah bless, no man can curse. And whom Yahuwah curse, no man can bless. Come over here to 24th chapter of this here. Make sure this is the one I want. It might not be 24. It's 23 that I want. 23 and about 11. Number 23 and 11. Matter of fact, back it up to 7. Matter of fact, verse 5. Numbers 23 and 5. Listen to what happens. Numbers 23 and 5. And Yahuwah put a word in Balaam's mouth and said, return unto Balak, and thus shalt thou speak. And he returned unto him. And lo, he stood by his burnt sacrifice, he and all the princes of Moab. And he took up his parable. and said, Balak the king of Moab has brought me from Aram, out of the mountains of the east, saying, Come, curse me Jacob, and come defy Yasharal. How shall I curse whom Elohim have not cursed? Or how shall I defy whom Yahuwah have not defied? From the top of the rocks I see him, and from the hills I behold him. Lo, the people shall dwell alone, and shall not be reckoned among the nations. Who shall count the dust of Jacob, and the number of the fourth part of Yasharal? Let him die the death of the righteous. Let my end be like his. All right, gentlemen. What y'all take from what we just looked at? This is something I done looked at in the past. It's been a few years. What y'all think that could mean? What you think that could mean, Dwight? Because ain't nobody gonna talk to me on the phone. When he sit back and say, Come, curse me, Jacob, come defy Yasharal. How shall I curse whom Elohim have not cursed? How shall I defy? How shall I not listen to? Whom Yahuwah have not defied? What you think that could mean? You laughing, huh? Yeah.
I mean, you get that, Yahushua was cursing us on that tree.
Yep.
But the Lord ain't cursing, his curse because of our sins.
There you go. Anybody on this phone got an idea? One person. Just somebody. Give me one person. I just want one. That's all I want. I don't even want two. I just want one. Can one person help me out? So live. You know what I'm saying? Anybody on this phone can help me out. Just one person. Don't worry about it. Go ahead. Okay, that's not a bad answer. That's not shoot. I go along with it. Since you said that, let's look at Galatians chapter 3. You hold this number 23. Thank y'all, man. That's why we had to go back. He said, remember Balak and Balaam and what happened. So we got to sit back and look at it. Make sure you remember it so you know what's going on. He told you to remember it, didn't he? That means you need to know that. So what that's going to is you can't curse whom y'all haven't cursed. And you can't bless whom y'all haven't blessed. And y'all to sit back and look at, you better not be defying somebody. Come and tell y'all something, man. Some of y'all know y'all do stuff you ain't got no business. Some of y'all have no sound judgment whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? And you do stuff that makes absolutely no sense. You know what I'm saying? And you'll teeter on the edge. What I'm saying is, I done told y'all this before. You could do something. It don't necessarily mean that it's wrong, but it's not wise. And if you catch yourself doing stuff that's not wise, you're going to catch yourself doing stuff that's wrong. And when you catch yourself doing stuff that's wrong, that's how you're not going to make it. You know what I'm saying? That's how you're not going to make it. Let's see, Galatians 3 and 13. Hamashiach have redeemed us from the curse of the Torah by being made a curse for us, for it is written, cursed is everyone that hang on the tree, that the blessing of Abraham might come on the Gentiles through Yahushua HaMashiach, that we might receive the promise of the Ruach through faith. Brethren, I speak after the manner of men, though it be a man's covenant, yet it be confirmed, no man disannul or add thereto. Now to Abraham and his seed were the promises made. He saith not, and to seeds as of many, but as of one, and to thy seed, which is a Mashiach. So as Dwight had properly mentioned, and then how you come back to number 22, and what Stanley just properly mentioned, the people defied Hamashiach, did they not? They said, crucify him, right? We're in number 23, my apologies. Didn't the people say, come and curse him? They said the man was a blasphemer. They came and cursed him. They came and made him a curse because he had to become sin. He had to become a curse. They were coming, they did just like this here, man. When you look at the whole situation, the scribes and the Pharisees was Balak, and Pilate is Balaam. Come curse this man for us so we can overcome him because he is greater than us. Is that not what they did? They say this man will come away and take away our place in nation. Let's at least say the Romans will come away, take our place in nation away if we let this man continue. He is too powerful. He is too great. Let us curse him. And they took this man to this man, and they brought false witnesses to lie on this man. They did all this stuff. But what the thing that they didn't realize is, I will not suffer my Kadesh one to see corruption. Therefore, I will see the light of thy countenance. They couldn't curse whom Yah had not cursed, but they still ended up defying Yasharal because they sat back and they bucked this man. This man say, if I done well, then they say, what is this man seeing? What has he done? What did they do? To defy somebody is to buck them. I'm going to do what I want to do. Some of y'all need to sit back and look at, are y'all defying Yasharal right now at this moment? Are you going to go do what you want to do, knowing this ain't what you supposed to do, because what you want to do is more important than what the words say? See, the reason why people don't get saved, the reason why people don't get this man Ruach, the reason why people are not going to get everlasting life and have gates, the right to enter into the gates, because what you want to do is more important. You have no problem defying this man to his face. That I'm going to do what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? And you got to already know that if it's of your own will and not according to his, it's going to crumble. We already looked at that in Acts chapter 5. He said, if this work be of men, it will come to nothing. But if it be of Elohim, you cannot stop it. Now, you know, me and Pell just was sitting back talking about this here, and he right. He wasn't never wrong. Boy, if something is of Yah, ain't a force on this earth going to stop it. You know what I'm saying? But if Yah don't want it to go down, it ain't going to go down. And usually if he don't let it go down, it's because it's for the destruction of both parties, or one party, or a whole people, or a whole nation, or I should say a whole country, or whatever the case may be. Because this man can turn to be your enemy real fast. And he can turn to be on your side real fast. But it's going to be contingent on what you do. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it's contingent on you. And you got to ask yourself, what direction you going to go in? Because like I say, man, it was already serious for me. But now it's going to got even more serious for every last one of us who was out there on that beach last week. Well, you've been dipped in this man death. And I'm finna get to that in a minute, what we looking at. You've been put in this man death now. You've been put in this man death now. So that means that if you do anything out the way, anything stupid, you killing the man. You killing it. You done drunk from this cup. You done been immersed in his death. And you going to sit back and say, you know what? Kill it. You're going to be self-willed, just like them people out there screaming crucify him because you felt like he was too powerful. You want to overcome him. You done counted this man's blood as an unset apart thing and just did what you want to do regardless of the gift of favor. We got to start looking at that now. I told y'all, well, we finna start going hard. If you felt we were going hard before, we finna go even harder. Because now it's more serious, man. All the nonsense got to go out the window. Now, the part I was telling y'all about Acts 14:22 about people not wanting to do this, y'all will. I'll get to that on tomorrow. I ain't going to be able to fit that in tonight. Because that's a whole thing in itself. Because I can line it up with that parable of the sower. But I'm sitting here telling you, some of y'all seeds by the wayside. He say by and by, he say you hear the word with joy in the beginning, but when persecution and tribulation come because of the word, you offended by it. Because when that stuff started, when the rubber started to hit the road and he started cranking up that heat and you got to start going through some trouble to be made perfect, boy, you niggas fold. I'm talking about those who seed by the wayside. They gonna fold. Because this ain't what I want to do. This was all, I was happy at the first, boy. That boy was bringing a word, boy. See, I ain't read that verse. He said they hear your words, but they won't do them. He said, like you like a man, like play a real lovely song on an instrument. That stuff sound real because it done happened too many times. Where dude be like, yeah, boy, I be listening to you, bro. Boy, you be going hard, bro. I be loving what you're preaching, boy. You preaching stuff right. Give him 3-4 weeks. You don't even see him no more. Remember little buddy had them locks in the head? We ain't seen him no more with him. John, ain't seen him no more.
Yeah.
Ain't heard him on the phone no more than nothing. Don't even take long for some. Kira just hit me the other day. Say, look like two people from my city done fell off. What happened? She said, I'm still going. Hey, damn, that's them. I can't talk. I can't say nothing. This ain't what everybody want to do. So y'all sit back looking at, oh man, they want to hear the word. They say they love what you preaching. I done had too many people before I even knew some of y'all come tell me that, yeah, boy, you be bringing that word, bro. You done heard some of them doing that. Straight up down. Don't even see them no more. Don't even abide no more. Because people sit back and look at, this ain't what they really want to do, man. You know what I'm saying? I warned you. I was just talking to somebody about this the other day. I warned everybody about this here, man. This ain't my first time doing it. Boy, you niggas around here, I tell you, man, the book tell you don't be unequally yoked with unbelievers. So I sit back and look at male or female. Boy, nigga come to you, I done told you before, especially a man, boy, a man will play that role to get that vagina and get that marriage ring on you. Boy, that nigga don't want to deal with this here. Once he got you, he like, shoot, you heard what the word said, you got to do what I say. Got him. You know what I'm saying? You've been got. See, if a man gets stuck with a woman he don't want, then he sit back and look at it, it ain't going to be a detrimental to him. He ain't got to listen to her. You know what I'm saying? Well, you got to listen to him, though. I can remember Nell sitting in the house be like that all the time. I can't marry no fool. I can't be submitting no fool. I can't be up under this. Hey, that's why nigga don't get married. I sit back and look at it. Ain't no way in the world I'm finna be unequally yoked with Nam Sim. You know what I'm talking about? It ain't finna happen. It's not finna happen. It don't even make no sense to me. Hold on, let me finish this here because I'm gonna show you the track that I'm going. It don't make no sense to me. I'm telling you, boy, I will remain single before I do that. You know what I'm saying? Straight up and down. If they ain't walking in this here, man, especially a woman, because see, I got to see. I got to sit back and really peep and see if this is what she really want to do. Because I ain't marrying no sinful woman. Because I'm going to put that hoe out my house. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't got no problem being single. I ain't got no problem not having sex. I'll put you out my house. I ain't had sex in almost 6 years, boy. It's not going to bother me now. Straight up and down. I mean, it's for my soul, though. Nigga, you know what I'm saying? I'm not finna do it. You know what I'm talking about? It's that serious. I ain't going to hell for no few minutes of pleasure. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, sit back and look at it though. It's the opportunities it could have happened. And sit back and look at it. It wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth it. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't put my soul at risk for that. Not for that. You know what I'm saying? But see, we don't think about stuff like that sometimes when we go do stuff. You know what I'm saying? It ain't just got to be like with having sex. You know what I'm saying? It could be anything. We don't sit back and look at, boy, I ought to die for this. Boy, I'm not going to do that. Because there are sins that are not under death. You know what I'm talking about? It's a sin you could commit that you wouldn't die for. You know what I'm saying? But lying, stealing, breaking Shabbat, fornicating, adultery, you know what I'm talking about? Being covetous, you know what I'm talking about? Boy, that stuff will send you straight to hell, man. Well, the book say you ought to die for that. That man say all unrighteousness is an abomination. So truth be told, boy, you do anything right, boy, you done. But that stuff is not serious. It's not that serious. Like some stuff ain't that serious. That's if we say we want to save our soul, right? Because we sat right in the house and heard some people say they want to save their soul and did behavior that was completely contrary to that. And continue to do behavior completely contrary to that after that moment. This is not consistent with a nigga who say they want to be saved. You know what I'm saying? We sit back and look at T looking at, well, you saying you not going to treat me like this here. I'm looking at this consistent pattern of behavior. This is what it's going to be. But the difference is with me, see, I want to be saved, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying I want to be saved, right? Mm-hmm. So I want to be saved. This man let me know, nigga, you wrong. You going to go to hell. You marry this woman and treat her like that. Oh, I ain't going to hell behind that. Boy, we going to get that in line then. You know what I'm saying? Not just, because I don't want to go to hell, but the fact of he letting me know on top of that, nigga, that's your wife. What is wrong with you? And I'm going to send you to hell for it. So then you feel bad because you done hurt the woman you love and you're going to hell for it. And you're going to hell for it. I ain't going to hell for that. Look here, man. I'm going to talk a little softer, talk a little lighter. You know what I'm talking about? Who? You know what I'm saying? I'm a nerd. Like I said, you're going to be more cognizant of what you're doing, though, ain't you? Same way I would like to say, I used to cuss a lot. I was more cognizant of the word came out my mouth till I stopped cussing. I ain't going to hell for that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to hell for that. Boy, I'm not finna go to hell because I mistreated my wife. That's retarded. You know what I'm saying? No way. Not once he let you know it. Like I said, you could know you might be doing your lady, you might be doing your lady the best, but you don't really know what you're doing. Sometimes a man can be oblivious, like, nigga, you don't realize what you're doing. Because sometimes our mind can be way somewhere else. You don't really realize what you're doing. Hello? But once you realize what you're doing, you gotta change that. You gotta change that. You know what I'm saying? You gotta change that. That can't keep going. That cannot keep going. Because like I say, 1B, because you hurting the person you love. You know what I'm talking about? 1A, because you're going to hell for hurting the person you love. That's not acceptable. You know what I'm saying? That's not acceptable. You know what I'm talking about? A woman, you don't want to submit to that man, you don't want to listen to him. You're going to hell. That's your husband, you don't want to listen to him. It don't matter how stupid he is, you got to listen to him. So you sit back and look at you murmuring under your breath, talking greasy, oh, you complaining, you going to hell for that. Because didn't he tell you not to murmur, right? Didn't the people die in the wilderness for murmuring?
Yeah.
So they were murmuring against their husband, right? So walk off murmuring against your husband, and guess what's going to happen to you? The word is the word. It is what it is. They murmured and complained. He knocked about 3,000 of them down. You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't like what he was doing. They didn't like what he said. They didn't like, not realizing, not paying attention to follow this man's direction. It's going to work out to you good. You know what I'm saying? It's two things I take dead serious in this walk. That's getting married and that's having children. That's dead serious right now. You know what I'm saying? That's dead serious right now. So I wouldn't even ask this woman to marry me if I wasn't serious about it. And most certainly wouldn't have said, I want you to have my children if I wasn't serious about it. So when I sit back and look at, this is going to be, especially if we'd have had kids, that's going to be detrimental to my children. That's definitely got to be adjusted. You know what I'm talking about? That's not going to continue. Because I can't let my son or my daughter see that and think that's cool. Because it's not cool. It's not right. It wasn't never right. At nan time. So then we need to sit back and look at our behavior towards our husband. It's not right at nan time. Let me finish this verse 6 though. Verse 8. We're in verse 9. He say, from the top of the rocks I see him. And from the hills I behold him. The people shall dwell alone and shall not be. He said, who can count the dust of Yaakov? And the number of the fourth part of Yasharah? He said, let him die the death of the righteous. Let his last end be like his. What y'all think that means? Let him die the death of the righteous? Let my last end be like his? What y'all think that could mean? He's speaking a parable, so this is a dark saying. And if it's a dark saying, that means that's the testimony of Yahusha, because the testimony said there's a ruach of prophecy. The testimony of Yahusha is the ruach of prophecy, the breath of life, the breath of a foretelling of a future event, which y'all just partook in last week. Now you supposed to let your death be like the righteous. How you gonna be around here living unrighteous, doing stupid, retarded, idiotic stuff? Come on around here, let's look at Matthew 3. We'll get to Micah 6 and all this stuff. Obviously I'm going in a different direction. A lot of this stuff I ain't even had in my mind taking that direction. Matthew 3 and 13. I'm like this here, boy, because I definitely ain't proud of myself. I shouldn't have no business having even sit back and be like, man, my future wife gone because I'm an idiot. That shouldn't even have to happen. We shouldn't even have to have that conversation. I shouldn't even be having to preach about this here. But we got to preach about it because of me. Right? It is what it is. Ain't proud, but proud of it. It's shameful. You know, I was explaining that to her. It's shameful. You know what I'm saying? Then sit back and look at, oh, man, that's horrible. That's bad. Don't you realize this on tape too? So people I don't even know, that I ain't never seen before, gonna see this too? You know what I'm saying? But it got to be done. You know what I'm saying? It got to be done. Nigga, we're wrong. 3 and 13. Then come Yahusha from Galilee to Jordan under Yuchanan to be immersed of him. Yuchanan forbade him, saying, I have need to be immersed of thee, and come thou to me. And Yahusha answering said unto him, suffer it be so now, for thus it become us to fulfill all righteousness. Well, let me die the death of the righteous. Then he suffered him. And Yahusha, when he was immersed, went up straightway out of the water, and lo, the Shamahim were opened unto him, and he saw the Ruach of Elohim descending like a dove and lighting upon him. Now, if you're going to die the end of the righteous, he say, let my last end be like his. Y'all don't realize that last end, that immersion is showing you receiving of the Ruach HaKodesh. That's what that's showing you. This is showing you eternal life because you died the death of the righteous, so your last end going to be just like his. So that means you got to start assessing what you're doing. What are you really doing this for? You just doing this just to sit on the phone every Friday night and Saturday afternoon and Wednesday night? You doing this just to have something to talk about? You doing this to get somebody? To impress somebody? Or you trying to impress your family? You know what I'm talking about? Oh, my family, Muslims or Christians, whatever. I'm going to show them the truth. But that ain't going to last long. It ain't in your heart. That's why you say your heart ain't steadfast in my covenant. You flattering me with your lip. This ain't really what you want to do. You know what I'm talking about? It might help somebody out because it got to, obviously it's somebody on this phone that this ain't what they want to do. Obviously, because this I ain't even having in my mind to even talk about this ain't what nobody want to do. You know what I'm saying? So that means there's somebody listening, this ain't what they want to do. Because he's talking to somebody. So if this ain't what you want to do, you need to sit back and look at, shut down shop, or tighten up. You know what I'm saying? Don't play with yourself. Because I know this is what I want to do. You know what I'm talking about? I would have been going, I'm coming up on 7 years with mine. You know what I'm talking about? Well, I know that's what I want to do. I know this is what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to do nothing else. I don't want to do nothing else. Don't nothing else matter. You know what I'm saying? Don't nobody matter. Period. You know what I'm talking about? Because, boy, look here, man. I done lost a lot of friends. You know what I'm saying? Because this is what I want to do. I ain't fooling with no sinners, man. You know what I'm talking about? That's just not going to happen. In no shape, form, or fashion. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's part of the reason why me and Glover had to go ahead and say, we're going to start content cleaning service. We can only deal with Ed to a certain extent. This nigga's a sinner. Smith, didn't I just tell you that, man? He would say, boy, y'all ain't going to be able to bless us doing business with him. Didn't I just tell you that? He ain't going to be able to do it. I ain't fooling with this sinner, man. And he going to have, I'm talking about, and that's doing business. And now we know doing business, obviously you're going to have to deal with some sinners. You know what I'm saying? But, man, look here, man. I ain't fooling with no sinner, man. This is what I want to do. This is what's in my heart to do. If it wasn't in my heart to do, I could have folded up shop and be like, nigga, I ain't preaching, I ain't doing nothing. Nigga, I'm finna go get me a doobie, nigga, find a hole or something. Come tell you, if somebody on their phone, this ain't what they want to do. I say just go ahead and just live how you been living. You know what I'm talking about? Because, boy, this man allowed it, to allow me to be baptized in this man's death and be immersed in this man's name. Boy, I'm serious about mine. You know what I'm talking about? That's why I told you. I can't tell you what y'all gonna do. I can't tell you what she gonna do. But I know this here though, before I marry a sinner, I'll be alone. Before I even entertain a sinner about being interested, I'm gonna be alone. Cause I ain't doing it. You know what I'm saying? Cause it ain't that serious for me. You know what I'm talking about? I ain't that lonely. I don't feel that bad. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, I love this woman. I would like for her to come back. But I don't want nobody that bad. Cause you ain't finna bring me down. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to happen because I ain't with it, man. Boy, I got to enter in them gates. You hear me? That man say open up the gates that the people who hold the truth might enter in. That man say Baruch know those who keep his commandment that they may have right to the tree of life, that they may enter in through the gates of the city. Nigga, I ain't trying to die in no Babylon. Straight up and down. They ain't trying to be in no Babylon. Man, I'm trying to get to New Jerusalem. Man, I can remember standing in Gregory Cove with my nigga Junior, and I'm telling him like, boy, I got to get to Jerusalem, bro. He said, boy, I don't want to go to Jerusalem bad as you do. This 2009 or 10, I say, nigga, you sound stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't know nothing like I know now. My first response is, nigga, you sound stupid. Nigga, I'll leave and one of you niggas behind to get to Jerusalem. I wouldn't care who it was. You know what I'm talking about? Boy, if T didn't want to go, I'm going to leave T right where she was sitting at. I'll leave you right there on that couch. I'll leave little Muffin. I wouldn't care who it was. I'm going to leave you right where I find you at. Because, boy, I got to be there. That man say, I want my latter end to be like his. That man's last end is to stand in Jerusalem with a glorified body, living forever, beholding the face of the Most High, no curse, sitting at the right hand of the throne. Man, I'm not losing that for none of y'all. You know what I'm saying? But y'all don't think like that. Because you get caught up on this ain't what you want. You teeter-tottering. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all know the last couple of weeks, boy, I was down, nigga was depressed. But at the end of the day, boy, you ain't never hear me say I wasn't going to keep going no little. You know what I'm talking about? Because, boy, I'm a man now, and my flesh can get low. But, boy, I wasn't finna quit, because, boy, I'm a lot of things, I ain't no quitter. You know what I'm talking about? That's the only reason why I was coming at T like, hey, man, we can try to work this out, because I ain't no quitter. I ain't never quit on nothing, period, in my life. I ain't no quitter. I wouldn't care how bad things get, how hard things get. I'm a fighter, I'm an overcomer. I'm from Duval County, man. You know what I'm talking about? We don't breed, that type don't get bread around here. You know what I'm saying? Out of town niggas come bring that stuff around here, man. You know what I'm saying? Straight up, out of town niggas bring that stuff around here, man. I'm from Duval County. It's soldiers around here. You know what I'm talking about? Shoot, man. Thank y'all. You hear me? Let's go look at this Romans chapter 6 real fast. You know I like to look at Romans chapter 6 for this cause. Matter of fact, make it Romans 1 and 4 first. We won't even take it there. Romans 1 and 1. He said, I want my last end to be like his. You know, if my shot got up. He got up. That man say, hold me. He said, a spirit don't have flesh and bones as you see me have. We know why he had no blood, because the life in the blood, he need no blood in to have life, because he had the ruach in it. If you want life, you need the Ruach in. You got to sit back, look at what you fooling with, what you messing with. Boy, you ain't supposed to let no force on earth stop you from getting this man's spirit. Man, I told y'all last week when we were standing out there on that beach, it's serious now. It ain't no game no more. But you don't got, we already told you, boy, if you had to get immersed again, boy, you done put this man to an open shame. You done killed the man fresh. You done did it all over again. He said he died one time. You ought to die to sin one time. Stop being stupid all your life. 1 and 1. Paul, a servant of Yahushua HaMashiach, called to be an apostle, separated unto the good news of Elohim, which he had promised before by his prophets in the Kadesh scriptures, concerning his son, Yahushua HaMashiach, our master, which was made of the seed of David, according to the flesh, and declared to be the son of Elohim with power, according to the Ruach HaKodesh, by the resurrection from the dead. Now he said you got to die to death for the righteous. Yahushua HaMashiach was the righteous. Give me Acts chapter 10, verse 37. I'm like this, I don't want in a whole nother direction. We might get back to Micah chapter 6 and Ephesians 5. But at the same time, what I'm looking at is, I'm looking at what we actually looking at, whether you know it or not, is the nourishing and cherishing of his wife. Because he laid his life down. Number one, he fed his wife the word. He fed his wife his flesh. He nourished her with that. Then he cherished her because he loved her enough to die for her and to show her the right way to go. You know what I'm saying? That's love right there. That's why I say Elohim so loved the world, he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believe on him should have everlasting life and not perish. I done told y'all many times before, boy, that's how you know somebody love you. But somebody love you, boy, they ain't going to be cool with you commit no sin. Straight up and down. You know what I'm talking about? They ain't going to be cool. They going to be cool with it. They ain't going to be cool with it. Boy, I'm talking about, I wouldn't care who it was. I done told some of y'all people come at you, they know how you live it, they know what you do, they know what you profess, and if they stamp you committing sin, that person don't love you. I don't care what they say out their mouth. Ain't nobody gonna love you, tell you it's all right for you to commit no sin. They gonna stop you. They ain't gonna go along with it. They ain't even gonna encourage you with it. They ain't even gonna entice you with it. You can say what you want to say. That's how I feel, but nigga, no, I ain't finna entice nobody to do nothing. You know what I'm talking about? Finna come to me like, bro, I'm finna go have sex with this girl. Nigga, you better not go do that, nigga. That's what you gonna hear me tell you. Look here, boy. It could have been a situation, boy, T could have came in there, let's have sex. You better put your clothes on. You know what I'm talking about? We may have did some kissing and touching. Ain't gonna go that far, though. That's why I got to draw the line. You know what I'm talking about? Draw it right there. Woo! This here's a little too much, but that's way too much. Because we can go to hell for this. You know what I'm saying? The Buddhists say, hey, boy, that's not expedient behavior because it can lead to that. You know what I'm talking about? Well, I'm not going to hell for that. I don't love you that much. Matter of fact, I'll probably cut off. And truth be told, if I would have said, if I would have came to her and said, let's have sex, she ought to cut me off. You know what I'm talking about? If them words came out my mouth, she'd be like, oh, that nigga don't love me. You know what I'm saying? And he definitely can't be a y'all sitting back telling me, let's have sex. Ain't nobody gonna know. Let me put my penis in you. See how that works out. Oh, no. I wouldn't dare do that. You know what I'm saying? Not at all. I'd be like, come to Dwight like, bro, I got a plan, right? See, I work this job, right? And they got some money over here, right? This here. So we can play it like this here and get $12,000. Come on, man. Only sinners entice people to commit sin. The righteous don't entice people to commit sin. That's why he say, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not. Only sinners do that. The righteous don't do that. The righteous entice people to commit sin. The righteous don't do that. Only sinners do. You know what I'm saying? I speak for me personally. I done been in a woman's house, but she didn't try to entice me verbally, like she didn't come out and say it. She was doing my hair, and all she kept doing when she was walking around doing my hair was bumping me with her crotch. You know what I'm saying? Like trying to grind. She tried to entice me to have sex with her. Now she know what I do. She know what I believe in. She know I ain't with it, but she did it nonetheless. I'm talking about, and I had them locks at the time, so you know, she retwisted them and then she finna style them. So you know, I'm sitting there for at least, well, she was kind of quick, so I was sitting there for about an hour and a half, and she did this the whole time. Little stuff, try to rub your breasts up against you. I already know this nigga's I already knew she was a sinner, but that's stamping that because you know what I do, you know what I believe in, and you would try me like that anyway. Anyway, you don't love me. As many times that woman will look me in my face, boss man, I love you. I love you, boss man. No, you don't. Because if you did, you wouldn't did that. You can't love me. It's impossible. You know what I'm saying? It's impossible. You just tried me right here like I'm stupid. If I would have been like, girl, let's do it, you would have did it. And with your kids in the house. Probably in the room too. Because she the type to do something like that. You know what I'm talking about? I'm like this here. I'm like, boy, please get me away from this woman. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, well, I don't know what you son. I'm going to say the only good thing me dealing with that woman was my skills in the word got it sharpened immensely. You know what I'm saying? My skill level got real nice because of that, because of the word that I had to disseminate to this woman. It got real nice, like, you know what I'm saying? It set the stage for, thank be to y'all, where I'm at right now. Cause I'm talking about, I disseminated a lot of word to this woman. I'm talking about Metro would be like, boy, if you was to go find that phone and get them text message records, you'd be like, boy, that nigga was dropping some word. You hear me? Regularly. Over the phone, phone conversation, text message, you know what I'm talking about? In person, all that. In the street, at a job, all that. I'm talking about as much as I done preached to y'all in the last year or two, it still might not equal as much information that I gave that woman in about the same 2-year period. Like flooded daily, all day, every day. She asked for it. It would come into my head, I gave it to her. If you ask for it, shouldn't you get it? So like I said, if you ask me I want to sit down with you and talk to you about the word sometime, or I want you like this here, or I bring it to you, I will hope you take me up on that offer. Because I'm going to do it. Because like this here, some of these brothers know they done picked the phone up and called me, boy, and I done went in dropping stuff on them for hours. That I end up coming to preach to y'all later. I used to sit down with Quad every day, 4-5 days a week. 2-3 hours in the morning, 2-3 hours in the evening. Every day. No problem, because he asked for it. I'll give it to you. Because I love you. I don't care nothing about that. If I ain't got nothing going on and I'm able to do it, I'm going to give you the word right then and there on the spot. No problem. No, like this here. Most of y'all know you can text me a question, and most I willing, I usually answer expeditiously. You know what I'm saying? Because I care about you. I want you to be saved. I don't think it's somebody on here, they don't want to be saved, they just playing. You know what I'm saying? If you just playing, we ain't got no space for you because we done had too many people come around with playing. Ain't them? Too many. We can't do nothing with you. Because like this here, like Glover said, we ain't never put nobody out. I'm going to let you fire yourself. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to let you let yourself out the door. Now check where your heart at, man. What I just asked for in Acts. Oh, Acts chapter 10, verse 38. 37. I'll make it 36. Acts 10 and 36. And it says, the word which Elohim sent unto the children of Yasharal, preaching peace by Yahushua HaMashiach, he is master of all. The word I say you know, which was published throughout all Yehuda, and began from Galilee after the immersion which Yuchanan preached. How Elohim anointed Yahushua of Nazareth with the Ruach HaKodesh and with power, who went about doing good and healing all that were oppressed of the devil, for Elohim was with him. And we are witnesses of all these things which he did, both in the land of the Yahudim and in Jerusalem, whom they slew and hanged on a tree. Him Elohim raised up the third day and showed him openly. So that's what you got to sit back and look at. He say, take up your cross and follow him. That's dying the death of the righteous. Because the Mashiach is the righteous. He died that death. When you got immersed in this man's name, you died the death for the righteous. What you gonna do now? You want your last end to be like his, yet you don't really want to do this? Why would you get immersed in this man's name? This ain't what you want to do. Why would you drink that cup on Pesach or on Passover and this ain't what you want to do? Why would you drink this man's blood and be a partaker in his death if this is not what you want to do? Why would you eat this man's body when you break that bread and eat it and being a partaker of his flesh and become flesh of his flesh and bone of his bone if this ain't what you want to do? Why would you be raised in the likeness of his resurrection if you actually wanted to be damned? Because he said, cursed are those who curse him. Every time you commit sin, you cursing the man. Every time you walk in the uprightness of the word, you blessing the man. Because you saying you blessed for the blood that he shed on your behalf. Y'all want to sit back and realize, man, that man ain't have to do that for you. He could have sat back in Shamahim and been like, shoot, Abba, y'all let him die, shoot. I don't care nothing about him. That's them stupid niggas. We make another people. You know what I'm saying? Didn't he offer that? Didn't he try Moses with that? Let me kill them all. I'll make a people greater people up out of you. Moses said, please don't do that. Say your enemy is going to talk against you. He said, please don't do that. He said, I ain't going to do it because I swore I'm a man of my word. It's impossible for me to lie. I swore an oath to Abraham and to Isaac and to Jacob. It's going to be a seed for him. That's how you know everybody ain't going to make it. Y'all should know that Kira just texted me about that the other day about in the wilderness when he said everybody 20 and up. Because he ain't let the old niggas in. He said, I'm going to let all y'all die. I'm going to let the young ones get in here. Maybe they got a chance because they ain't stupid like the rest of them. You know what I'm saying? So what that shows you, even then, only a remnant got in, didn't them? He's showing you that right there. Man, everybody not going to make it. Man, I've been dealing with this too long to sit back and be like, because the niggas say this is what they want to do and all that, boom, boom. I done seen too many people fall off, man. I ain't even been preaching that long. I've only been preaching on, this is coming up on year 4. October, y'all willing, will be year 4. You understand what I'm telling you? I'm talking about like really doing it on a consistent basis. You know what I'm talking about? Year 4. And I done had too many people tell me, bro, you be dropping that word. Boy, I be watching your video. You be doing your thing. And them niggas don't mess with the word no more. I'm talking about people I know personally. You know what I'm saying? I ain't talking about just people at randoms. I'm talking about people I know personally. People who I spoke to. People I done dealt with. Who done told me, bro, you be doing your thing. You be dropping it. Some of y'all noticed that there were people who you was in that hotel with on Pentecost who don't do this no more. You know what I'm saying? Who they may call themselves following the word, but they ain't doing it because this ain't what they want to do. Y'all done sat down and ate with them. Some of y'all done live with somebody who don't want to do this no more and who ain't never want to do it. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. And y'all see that stuff and y'all don't pay that stuff to mind that, but it's going to be what everybody want to do. That's supposed to be the signal for you to know it's only a remnant going to make it. Everybody's not cut out for this. And I ain't saying what nobody can't do. Because every last one of y'all are capable of doing anything you set your heart to do. Please know that. Because I'm not telling you that none of y'all can't do it. Every last one of y'all are more than capable of doing it. If that's what your sincere desire is to do. But everybody's not cut out for this because everybody's not willing to offer themselves as a living sacrifice. Everybody's not willing to make a covenant by sacrifice. Everybody's not willing to do that. Because it's always going to be a pull and a draw of that something that you want to do that's outside the will of y'all. Well, where you going to go to hell for it? So you'll try to manipulate your mind. Like me and T were talking about this other day, a couple weeks ago. Like, you know, y'all give you a mind that you could be doing wrong and you feel like you're doing right, right? But the only reason why he'll give you a mind to do that because doing wrong is your desire. You know what I'm talking about? See, we just read that on Wednesday when he said he gives them a strong delusion that they should believe a lie because they have a pleasure in committing sin. You know what I'm saying? Like with me, I don't have no pleasure in committing sin. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no pleasure in doing my will. I can sit back and ask the Most High, do you want me to preach? Because if you don't want me to preach, I stop. Because it's your will, not mine. I don't want to be doing what I want to do. I want to do what you want me to do. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you want me to do, that's what I'm going to do. Remember I told you when we had left from Atlanta? I said, that's not particularly what I want to do. You know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. But if that's what he, then I tell you, but if that's what he want, then that's what it's got to be then. Didn't I tell you that? Because that's all that matters. What he want is what matters. You know what I'm saying? The stuff that was the pastor was telling me about, like boom, boom, boom. I'm like, shoot, I ain't come up here for that. But if it be y'all's will, let that be accomplished. You know what I'm saying? Because that's more important. See, a lot of y'all don't look at that when you make decisions or you go to do stuff because you really want to believe that what you doing is y'all's will and you're going to convince yourself of that because that's what you want. See, some people felt like I wanted Rondisha Marie. I didn't want her. This nigga got too many kids from too many different men. I don't like her mentality. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe she wants to do this. I'm doing this because I perceive that he sent me to do this. Because if it was of my own accord, I would have cut off. Well, it wouldn't even went that long. Because I had already identified and seen this is not what you want to do. I had told this woman, I fear for you. Because I believe he wanted you to hear this stuff so you can go to hell. So you can hear the word and reject it. Like, I fear for you. Like, on some real talk, like I told her this, I fear for you. I fear for you. Because this ain't what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Man, I don't want to be sitting around nobody, man, like this here, man, and just period. Like, man, why would I want to be with somebody who don't want to do this? Why would I want that? Why would I want to come in and say, yeah, I'm going to take care of 3 children that are not mine because that's just what I'm jumping up to do, and I don't have any kids? That don't even make logical sense to her. You ain't got no kids, and you jumping up just want to do that? I'm coming in, boy, I got to feed 4 miles off the rip. I can't even build my way to 4 miles. You know what I'm saying? Off the rip, I'm on 4. Who gonna want to do that? On their own. I don't think too many. I know I did, but hey, what y'all want, that's more important for me. But let's finish this right here, though. He said he raised them up, we in verse 41, not to all the people, but unto witnesses chosen before Elohim, even unto us who did eat and drink with him after he rose from the dead. And he commanded us to preach unto the people and to testify that it is he which was ordained of Elohim to be the judge of quick and dead. Let's look at 1 Corinthians 15, probably about verse 37 real fast. Also get you 1 Peter chapter 4 and about verse 1. Something just came to my head when it comes to this here. What we talking about, let our last end be like his. 1 Corinthians 15. I'll look at about verse 35. Matter of fact, make it 33. 15 and 33. Be not deceived. Evil communications corrupt good manners. And where do we see that at? Because we seen that Balaam was getting evil communication from Balak, wasn't he? Trying to corrupt what he was supposed to do. Because Balaam ended up going after that reward of iniquity. You know what I'm saying? You could even sit back and you could look at that with Yasharal fooling with the heathen. You could see that with Solomon marrying them strange women, marrying sinners, being unequally yoked. Their evil communication or their sinful ways corrupted their behavior, which in the end took them down. So you can't sit back and be deceived. You can't be naive. Can't be simple. Can't be gullible. Can't be idealistic. Evil communications corrupt good manners. You know what I'm saying? A sinner is going to take you down every single time. You know what I'm saying? We got too much book for that. I done told you that before. You're not going to convert a sinner. A sinner is going to convert you. You're not going to pull them over. You know what I'm talking about? I done told some of y'all that too much when you just dealing with your people by wanting your people to do it. It's got to be in their heart to want to do it. It's got to be in their heart to want to do it. It's got to be there. You can't put that in nobody's heart to want to do right and want to live right. But most importantly, to make the sacrifices and do what's necessary to live right. You can't put that in nobody's heart. That's got to be there. That's why he said with their mouth they show much love and they flatter with their tongue. He said, but their heart was not right with Elohim. They wasn't steadfast in his covenant. They wasn't standing on the rock like we talked about Wednesday night. Verse 35, but some men will say, hold on, my apologies, I missed verse 34. He say, awake to righteousness and sin not. Why is that important, talking about awake to righteousness and sin not? Because something just come to my mind about that. Let me finish the verse and I'll see what y'all think. For some have not the knowledge of Elohim, I speak this to your shame. So that means I'm not talking to nobody who on here and they ain't been rolling, if that's the case. I'm talking to all y'all that know. If you don't have the knowledge of Elohim in your heart, and you've been sitting around here for a year, 2 years, 6, 8, 9, 10 months, whatever the case may be, I speak that to your shame. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because that don't make no sense. You know, when a lot of them questions and all that stuff that were coming up a few weeks back, do you realize most of them questions that them niggas were asking was stuff we had already been over before? Did you realize that? So you know what that told me? Niggas ain't listening. Don't the book tell you, he say we might give the more earnest heed to the things we heard, lest they slip? So y'all just sit back and y'all hear me talking, and you go watch them videos, and you write your notes down, but you not laying that stuff up in your heart. That's why it don't stay in your head. That's why I speak this to your shame. Because you ought to be shamed. You ought to be shamed. Because a lot of stuff, sometimes, not all of it, I'm just talking about really that situation recently. A lot of that stuff they were asking about, we done been over this before. By the grace of Yahushua HaMashiach, we done covered this book all type of different ways. So then y'all need to start looking at why are you not retaining the information? You can't be retaining it but for 1 or 2 reasons. You don't believe it, or this ain't what you want to do. Or take 3, or you're not paying attention. You're not taking it seriously enough. You're complacent. You're comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, like I say, it wasn't the right track for me to take. That's why I was so hard on T. I ain't never wanted to get comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a hard individual. I'm looking at, I see myself in her. She a hard individual. I figured she could be able to take it. That was a tactical error on my part. You know what I'm saying? She wasn't able to take it. Not in that manner or not that constantly. You know what I'm saying? It needed to be some, when the coach come over there and put his arm on your shoulder and talk to you versus when he go off on you. You know what I'm saying? Needed to put that in there a little bit more. Which at times I did, but it wasn't as on balance with the drop a foot off in your behind. You know what I'm saying? So, you sit back, you see that, you adjust it. Because I know that don't bother me, but I know some people that do. But like I said, because I looked at her and seen myself, I'm looking at she got the mental makeup to be able to take that. That she mentally tough enough to take it. Because you got to be mentally tough sometimes. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't make you, that's not a bad thing because somebody tell you to get mentally tough. That's not like a shot at you. You know what I'm saying? Playing sports, you got to be mentally tough, don't you? You know why you got to be mentally tough when you play sports? Because it could be some failures. It could be some mishaps. If you dwell on them, you're going to continually make mistakes. You know what I'm saying? And when you come in, and when you living in life, man, you got to be mentally tough. See, I learned that being there. If I wasn't mentally tough going to prison would have broke me. Prison is meant to break the mentally weak. You got to be mentally tough. You know what I'm saying? All of us got to learn to develop that mental fortitude. Because that's what a Mashiach had. That's why he didn't fall. See, when you're mentally tough, you can be able to take certain things. You can be able to endure a lot of things. And when you're dealing with this here, you got to be mentally tough. But nevertheless, what y'all think that means when he say awake to righteousness and sin not? Gentlemen, what do you think that could mean? Anybody. Don't everybody answer at once. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want nobody talking over each other. Fighting to get that information out. You know what I'm saying? Don't rush now. Please. Come on, gentlemen. I know somebody knows. Boy, y'all don't got to be quiet, man. I'm going to tell y'all something. I'll tell y'all this here before, man. Now, I'll be joking. This, that, there, and the third. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about if you thinking that you going to say something that I ain't looking for or that it's going to be wrong. Because y'all should know. Dwight done did it. I done said something, was looking for something else, and y'all done said something else. And hey, it went along with what we were talking about. We'll get that in there too. Oh. Now I'll give you that there. That ain't what I'm looking for though. Think about it now. Awake to righteousness and sin not. If you awake, what you were doing? If you got to awake, what were you doing before that? You were asleep. So what you think that's telling you about? Awake from the grave, right? Go get your Yeshayahu, Isaiah 52:1. We'll come right back to this. So that's what you got to realize when you was immersed. Because remember, he said, let me die the death of the righteous and let his end be like his. Let my end be like his. So you looking at, he telling you awake to righteousness and sin not. What is righteousness? According to the law, what is righteousness? Abraham believed in Yah and he counted to him for righteousness, right? He that believe on me as the scripture, has said what? Out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. This spake Yahushua, the Ruach HaKodesh, that those that believe on him should receive, or as Stanley just said, faith, or a munah, a firmness, a conviction. So you got to awake. We just looked at that when we were looking at a Mashiach being baptized. What came on him after that? The Ruach, didn't it? Awake to righteousness. And guess what he did after he awoke to righteousness? What he was showing you that. He ain't commit no sin, did he? He sinned not. That's what you got to look at. You came up out that water. You supposed to be awakened to faith after that. And you ain't supposed to be sinning. Just live by faith, right? Oh, y'all ain't see that coming, did I? Praise y'all. I say I ain't lost it. I can still do a little something. I ain't lost it. It's tripping because I just seen the episode of that. I was flipping channels the other day and caught Stewart. I had to sit there and watch. So you can add that to the novel you wrote. You know what I'm saying? He went hard with it. Then he edited it like this here. I can't wait to read it. Oh boy. Isaiah 52:1. Awake, put on thy strength, O Zion, on thy beautiful garment, O Jerusalem, the Kadesh city, for henceforth There shall no more come in unto thee the uncircumcised and the unclean. You sit back and look at that. That's how y'all supposed to be looking at it. You got up, ain't supposed to be nothing unclean coming into you no more. How that gonna happen? Shake thyself from the dust, arise and sit down, O Jerusalem. Loose thyself from the band of thy neck, O captive daughter of Zion. Because you know he loosed the pains of death. It wasn't possible that he should be holding of it. Right? So when we turn around and we look at it, right? 1 Peter chapter 4 and verse 1. I'm going to work my way around. I'm going to come back to it. I guess he just put something else totally in my head other than what I thought I was going to get. Thank y'all nevertheless. Maybe it helped somebody out. I'm sit back and tell you now. Because he ain't got me put this in y'all, put this out here for no reason. Because you know, if I'm talking about awakening to righteousness and sin not, don't feel bad for those of y'all that hadn't been immersed yet. But I'm talking to those who just got immersed. You know what I'm saying? First and foremost when it comes to that right there. You didn't realize that. And then like I said, y'all knows. Because I ain't shooting no bullets at nobody because I ain't have it in my heart to even say that to them. Y'all know it's somebody on this phone that's saying what they want to do. You know what I'm saying? This is not something that somebody want to do. And I know it got to be a reason why he put this in my head. Because remember, because I said that about that Acts 14 Wednesday, didn't I? Oh, you might not have heard it. But we say through much tribulation, and you sat back and seen in that wilderness, and we're going to look at it, y'all will, on tomorrow. Them people went through all that stuff. This is not what they wanted to do. Them people say, we want to go back to Egypt. We want to go back to sin. You know what I'm saying? And it came to my mind only because of something that I had done seen, and something I had been thinking on. And what I had seen was certain individuals who used to roll with us that have went back to sin and open with it. You know what I'm saying? Boy, this ain't what everybody want to do, man. This is not what everybody want to do. 1 Peter 4 and 1. For as much then as Mashiach hath suffered for us in the flesh, arm yourselves likewise with the same mind. For he that suffered in the flesh has ceased from sin. That's why he said, let me die to death for the righteous. I can stop sin. Listen to what he said. That he no longer should live the rest of his time in the flesh to the lust of men, but to the will of Elohim. Mashiach rose from the dead. You know what I'm saying? Mashiach already done rose from the dead. You know what I'm saying? Once he done did that, that's what he was living to, the will of Elohim, right? He said, awake the righteousness. He sinned not. Ain't no more sinning after this. He said, for the time past our life may suffice us to wrought the will of the Gentiles. When we walked in lasciviousness, lust, excess of wine, revilings, banquetings, and abominable idolatries. Hello? They good then. Okay. He say, wherein they think it strange that you run not with them to the same excess of riot, speaking evil of you. That's why he told you don't be deceived. Evil communications corrupt good manners. Because now you done fool with these sinners. Now you don't want to fool with them no more. And they got something to say about why you don't want to fool with me no more. That's what sinners do. Ain't that's what sinners do, try to make you feel bad about not sinning with him no more. Mm-hmm. Why you can't do this here no more? Why you can't do this here no more? Because you going to hell, nigga. That's why I ain't going with you. He said, who shall give account to him that is ready to judge the quick and the dead? You know what that means, the quick and the dead? We already read that in John chapter 5. Quick mean make alive. He said there'd be some who going to come to the resurrection of life and some to the resurrection of damnation. That's the quick and the dead. He going to judge you to be able to get in, or he going to judge you going to go to hell. Which direction you going to go? That's why he told you, awake to righteousness and sin not. Hold on. You got to sit back and look at that. Come on back to 15. Come on back to 1 Corinthians 15. Come on back to 1 Corinthians 15. So what?
Save your 2 nails too.
What about it?
Save it. You know, ain't no hope. I told you like that.
Oh, where we at, right? So when we see a break into righteousness and sin and not, we see what that is. We see that that's resurrecting from the dead and not committing sin. Just like Amai, he said, let me die the death of the righteous and let my end be like his. His end is that he rose from the dead made in the likeness of the Son of the Most High, and lived accordingly. He no longer lived a life of sin. Hold on one second, y'all. Just hold on one second. So, as we turn around and we look at, oh boy, my watch good and stop. Verse 35. And it says, but some men will say, how are the dead raised up, and what body do they come? Thou fool, that which thou sowest not quickened except it die, and that which thou sow not, that body shall be but bare grain. It may chance of wheat or some other grain, but Elohim giveth a body as it hath pleased him, to every seed his own body. All flesh is not the same flesh, but there is one kind of flesh of men, another flesh of beasts, another of fishes, and another of birds. There are also celestial bodies and bodies terrestrial, but the esteem of the celestial is one, and the esteem of the terrestrial is another. There is one esteem of the sun, another esteem of the moon, another esteem of the stars. One star different from another star in esteem. So also is the resurrection of the dead. It is sown in corruption, it is raised in incorruption. It is sown in dishonor, it is raised in esteem. It is sown in weakness, it is raised in power. That's when you go back and you look at that's when we go back and we look at this here, right? Remember, Mashiach say, my grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. When you sit back and you look at that you want to die the death of the righteous, that means you taking up that state, you taking up that affliction, and you laying your life down for it willingly. That means you in a position of weakness because you're giving yourself up. But when you come up out of that water, it's to symbolize that you're raising up again in power and the power of Yahuwah, and to live for him and in that power and in that esteem and in that righteousness. So your end can be like his. Hold on one second. So, it is sown a natural body, it is raised a spiritual body. There's a natural body and there's a spiritual body. And so it is written, the first man Adam was made a living soul, and the last Adam was made a quickening ruach. And just sit back and look at that. You sit back and look at that, what it's going to be.
Man, you can tighten up.
I am, but I'm trying to express something. I can't.
You done, nigga. I can't text on the clock, nigga.
Oh, I can.
Nigga, please.
Go sit back and go. Come on to Micah chapter 6. I mean, I can't because it's a real matter that I'm dealing with.
All right, that'll wait.
No, it's a spiritual matter.
Yeah, it's still wait.
Nigga better start listening when I be telling y'all stuff. Y'all don't be listening to me. I guess y'all just don't know what y'all. I guess y'all just think I don't know what I'm talking about.
Feel the same way at times, you know.
Micah chapter 6. Look at verse 6. Wherewith shall I come before Yahuwah and bow myself before the high Elohim? Shall I come before him with burnt offerings, with the calves of a year old? Will Yahuwah be pleased with thousands of rams, or with 10,000 rivers of oil? Shall I give my firstborn for my transgression of the fruit of my body, for the sin of thy soul? He hath showed thee, O man, what is good, and what doth Yahuwah require of thee, to do justly, and to love mercy, and to walk humbly with thy Elohim. He done showed you that with a Mashiach. He done showed you what to do. You know what I'm saying? Just sitting back looking at something like this, it just come like this here, being reiterated that how can somebody say they love you and care about you and willingly participate in sin with you? How's that possible? How's that possible? I'm going to be honest with you. I ain't trying to be mean or nasty or nothing. You got to be a special kind of stupid. You know what I'm saying? You got to be a special kind of stupid.
What was that, Full Metal Jacket?
Nah, he said that's going full retard. You know what I'm saying?
They said that on the song.
But you got to be. Because ain't no way in the world. Even in a situation where we just seen in here, niggas talking about how they was in, talking about they were getting freaky and all that type of stuff. Ain't no way in the world y'all love each other that you'll be willing to do that. You can't look me in the face and tell me that you love this person. You can't, you don't care if they go to hell. Nigga can get up, leave, get in a car accident, they going to hell. You didn't care nothing about that. It didn't even enter in your mind. My love for this person is greater than what I want to do. I wouldn't want them to risk their soul for me. Can't care about it. You're not going to convince me of that. You know what I'm saying? Now one of y'all could convince me of that. Now one of y'all could convince me of that. Straight up and down. That's why he say evil communication corrupt good manners. You silly niggas think a sinner won't take you down. You know what I'm saying? You sit back and look at it. Go ahead and be like Solomon if you want to. Solomon, the wisest man on earth, right? Sinners took him down. So you smarter than Solomon then. Can't be. Can't be. Stuff you doing don't make no sense. But you know what? I be warning you though. Because that's my job. You know what I'm saying? I'll warn you. Go ahead and tell you this is what's going to happen. And guess what? It's going to happen and you're going to burn. Because you're going to keep on, and like the man say, because you don't like to retain him in your knowledge, you're going to be given over to a reprobate mind. So that's why he said, come out from among them and be ye separate and touch not the unclean thing. Then we did talk about that before we got immersed. So guess what that means? You niggas touching unclean things, you're going to hell. The man can't receive you. He can't receive you. But you don't care though. Because what you want is greater than what you defy Yasharal. Just like the man said. You cursing the man. You cursing the man. And you can't do that. You got to save yourself. You got to save yourself. He said, come out from amongst this untoward generation and save your soul. And it's unfortunate that y'all got to sit back and show you, you're not wiser than him. You're not smarter than him. And you sat back and went by your good judgment in the word, you wouldn't be in the situation and position that you be in. You wouldn't do it. You wouldn't do it. So you sit back and look at it. What you gonna do, Ryan? What is you gonna do? Matter of fact, we ain't got to go no further. Come over here to Matthew chapter 13, man, about verse 47. We call it night right then. I'm just going to let that go. I'm just going to leave that alone. Matthew 13, 47. That's good enough for one evening. Again, the kingdom of Shamahim is like unto a net that was cast into the sea, gathered of every kind, which when it was full, they drew to shore and sat down and gathered the good in the vessels, but cast the bad away. You got to ask yourself, you want the most high? Matter of fact, since I said that, 1 Corinthians 9 and 24. Because that just came to my mind right now. 1 Corinthians 9 and 24. Gonna mess around and be a castaway. And I ain't talking about the movie or the TV show or whatever it was. He say, know ye not that they which run in a race run all, but one receive the prize, so run that you may obtain. Every man that strive for mastery is temperate in all things. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we are incorruptible. I therefore so run, not as uncertainly, so fight. I, not as one that beat the air, but I keep under my body and bring it to subjection, lest by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself should be a castaway. You better learn to keep your body in subjection. Now the Most High done sat back and told y'all, this is the key thing. You come back to Matthew 13. This is the key thing that y'all telling y'all this evening. Number one, you define the man, because you're going to do what you want to do. Number two, if you're going to die the death of the righteous and his end, your end to be like his, once you come up out that water, you need to stop sinning. You need to sin not. Number three, you're lying to this man with your mouth talking about this is what you want to do, but your heart ain't with him. And number four, sinners is going to take you to hell. So y'all can sit back and you can look at it, man. All a sinner job is to take you down. Everybody who you come to and you introduce stuff to and you tell them about, man, this ain't what they want to do. They're going to use that to get what they want from you. They're going to use that to get what they want from you. While you walk around here thinking, oh, they care about me. Yeah, this is what they want to do. Got him. Satan got you. Because sinners savor the things that be of man, not the things that be of Elohim. That's what they savor. You know what I'm talking about? That's what they savor. That's why Judas was sitting there with a Mashiach, a betrayer the whole time. Some of you niggas sitting with a betrayer right now. You better sit back and look at that. Because I'm talking about your soul here, man. Everything else, we started talking about the situation with me and T. You could take that, flush that down the toilet. You know what I'm talking about? Because obviously we went a whole nother direction then.
Perhaps.
Perhaps. I say indubitably. You know what I'm talking about?
I mean, it all ties into one.
Yeah, indeed it do, because it's all the same word. You know what I'm talking about? But at the same time, I be telling y'all stuff to save yourself. And some of y'all be telling me, no, this, that, there, and the third. And every single solitary time, exactly what I told you is exactly what happened. And you ain't no different than the people in the wilderness. And if you're not careful, that man gonna swear in his wrath, you're not gonna enter into his rest because you stubborn. You don't listen. That's pride. He resists the pride. You won't get what you after. Because sometimes you're going to have to realize you're not as smart as you think you are. Obviously that show, and it also show you ain't got no spiritual discernment. You know what I'm saying? You can't actually sit back and discern the situation. Because again, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not. Only a sinner is going to entice you to go along with committing sin. Only a sinner will be cool with you committing sin if they sit back and they talk about, I like you, I care for you, I love you, and then they'll go ahead and lead you to commit sin. They don't love you. And they not of Yahuwah. He said, whosoever show love, that's of Elohim, because Elohim is love. Elohim, so he say love it to keep a commandment. This person's not of God. And you gonna fool with them. And try to convince yourself they of God. That's dangerous. That's where them strong delusions come in at. That's dangerous. I'm just trying to tell you something to help y'all save your soul. That's why he told you, before we got immersed, that's what we were talking about. You better come out from among them. Everybody's not of God. Everybody is not of God. Straight up and down. And you can keep fooling with everybody like they are God, and you're going to go where they God going. Straight in the lake where the worm dieth not, and the fire shall not be quenched. Because they Elohim is they belly, they mind earthly things. You know what I'm saying? Our Elohim is in Shamahim. He doeth as he please. We mind the things that are on high, the things that are eternal, not the things that are temporal. We don't mind the things of this life. But y'all gonna keep on doing what you want to do. And you're gonna keep on getting what you ought to get. Hellfire. 13 and 47 again. Again, the kingdom of Shamahim is like unto a net that was cast into the sea and gathered of every kind. When it was full, they drew to the shore and cast down and gathered the good in the vessels, but cast the bad away. So shall it be at the end of the world. The Malachim shall come forth and sever the wicked from among the just, and shall cast them into the furnace of fire. There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth. Yahushua saith unto them, have you understood all these things? They say unto him, yea, master. Then said he unto them, therefore every scribe which is instructed unto the kingdom of Shamahim is like unto a man that is a householder, which bring forth out of his treasure things new and old. Praise ye Yah for Yahushua HaMashiach and the word. I pray this helps somebody out tonight.